checking out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a New River thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as the valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. In the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark. Big Dog Sports Talk, lighten up the dark.
Hey, good morning. How are you? It is the Thursday edition of the program. Wherever you might be, glad to have you with us. Welcome. Welcome. Hit us up on the Professional Dual Incorporated text line 391-0788. Also, hit us up in the chat room, brought to you by McClellan Chiropractic, Mark Hundley, 155 Walters Drive, I'm heading out there next Wednesday, and I think that's when we're going to film me going through the gauntlet. Hit us up in the chat room and wherever you might be. And welcome to anyone new watching the program. Please subscribe, like, and share. David Smith joins us coming up. We're excited about that. He will be with us 6:30. We'll break down the NFC East. So that'll be exciting. A lot of NFC East fans in the area. Eagles, Washington. Can't say their nickname. Sorry. Cowboys, Giants. Who's real? Who's pretend? We'll find out. Jonathan Sweet joins us from Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment, 7:30. Andy Bitter is on holiday, so he won't be with us today. And then Dwight Vick joins us at 8. And Dwight has got a lot of good stuff. We were talking about Maryland football this week, looking at the Tech schedule. That seems to be the trigger game. That's the one we're looking at thinking, okay, if you get that one on the road in Big Ten, then James Franklin's on to something here, right? Well, we're going to find out what in the world. It's just Maryland football is an enigma, right? It's like so many things in place for it to be successful, yet it's not. So Dwight's going to have some thoughts about that. So you don't want to miss that. Tonight, we're going to do Big Dog Pop yet again. Big Dog Pop will come your way 6:30, 7 o'clock, something like that. You'll get the warning sound when it happens. You'll get the little blast from your mentions. It's hot. It's going to be hot today. Feels great out there right now, though. Did some walking this morning. It's supposed to hit 95. We have heat index warnings today and tomorrow, Saturday. We are in July. And again, I'll mention it with David Smith coming up. Doesn't matter to me how hot it might get. The bottom line is it's not winter. I mean, I can always come in the house if I need to or go where at work. I know a lot of people have to work outside. It's a different thing. I get it. But, I mean, it's July. It's supposed to be hot. I know it's heading into the weekend celebrating the country's 250th anniversary. What's up, Omagan? Welcome. Hit us up. Subscribe. Where's all our chat regulars today? Where's all of our gang today? I want to tell you about, by the way, you mentioned Professional Door Incorporated. So what does the month of July mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means 40 years that those folks have been in business, which is incredible. What's up, Ken? Hello. Welcome. Please subscribe. So to celebrate 40 years, if you have a garage door and you need preventative maintenance or it may not be working, reach out this month to Travis and Professional Door in Dublin, 674-0008, and schedule your maintenance. As long as you do it in July, it doesn't matter when you schedule it. $40 off the top. Folks, that's a large part of the cost, and that's what Travis and Professional Door Incorporated is giving to you. I mean, immediately right off the top. So reach out to them. The key is you have to tell them you heard us talking about it here on BDST on YouTube. $40 off your preventative maintenance on your garage door. And I know how many people have them, and I know how many people are having problems with the garage doors. Those are things that are wonderful items to have, but you got to be careful. They go badly quickly. Hey, Brian, how are you? I always said I'd rather sweat than shiver. Me too, man. And when you get older, hey, thanks, Keon. When you get older too, I don't know about you, but when I'm just out doing stuff, my joints, They do better. They get lubricated out in the heat as opposed to cold. They don't work as well in the cold. By the way, if you're an NFL fan, don't want to miss David Smith. If you've never seen David Smith, he is the absolute best analyst that talks about the NFL. And we got a lot of NFC East fans, so you don't want to miss it. Like I said. What's up, Hacker? Well, hope you don't hack us, Hacker. Welcome, though. Thanks for stopping by. From Mike Ashley's Father Days open mic, is there anyone out there like me still teared up over that emotional speech and also feeling a little bit of patriotic spike? BDST is lit up, people. Yeah, feeling the patriotic spike, I am. Hacker, we are in the United States of America. By the way, who won last night? They won their matchup against, let me make sure I get it right here, Bosnia. Now it's Bosnia Hertz. A lot of these countries are now doing hyphenated names like a married name. 2-0. Go. Good stuff. And now the U.S. will play Belgium. Ooh, now it starts to get serious in the round of 16. Belgium's really good. Belgium and the U.S. should be a pretty even matchup. So there you go. As this team continues to move on. It's great. That's great. Excited. Well, yeah. Anytime a U.S. team's playing, I'm going to support them. Yeah. So that's good. I see one thing I do see on my X feed is how many people complain about soccer officials just like we complain about American football and other sports officials. Pretty funny. It doesn't matter what nation you're from. It doesn't matter what oh, very cool, Hacker. That's great. Where are you from, Hacker? Doesn't matter where you are. You're going to complain about the officiating. Yeah, it was no surprise, Tebow, that Gottlieb was going to follow Brian White. I mean, they worked together at FAU. There was a $30 million deficit that he ran up at Colorado, but we'll see. Again, it's all about revenue, huh? All these hires are about revenue. Money. But yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer that he was going to follow him. Hey, Prometheus, what's up, bringer of fire? I know Prometheus is thinking, I don't need to bring any fire. Now, Prometheus has to work outside a lot. So he has a whole different vibe on this weather than some of the rest of us. I know, it's cool, isn't it, Prometheus, right? Even though we may not be soccer people, it's cool that the U.S. is in the Sweet 16. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to use an American tournament term. I want to transfer that on the World Cup to kind of make me feel better about the whole thing. It's exciting. That was our question, by the way, our Ryan Pry attorney question about who's going to win the World Cup. England is who's going to win that. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios, 540-200-8294. Reach out to Jason Green for your free quote. We talked about Mark Cunley, McClellan Chiropractic. So next Wednesday, I'm going over there to talk to Mark, and we're going to see if maybe we can get some footage of me going through the gauntlet. 155 Walters Drive. I do have some $2 bills. Matter of fact, I have quite a few of them. Yep, I do. I really do. We're presented each and every day by Pulaski County Sports Entertainment. And Jonathan Sweet's going to join us. They just got an award on top of everything else. We'll get an update on everything that's going on as the summer continues to get warmer in Pulaski County. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg. Thanks to all of those folks, Charles Lee, and I see their trucks set everywhere, which means people are getting their air units checked. Reach out to them. Mention the attorney Ryan Pry, 701 West Main Street in Radford, Trust and Estate Planning. National Bank, member FDIC, my exclusive banking partner, should be yours. Talked about my refinancing down with Jamie in their Radford branch, and it made it easy, something I was very stressed about. They took the stress away immediately. ReadySetButton.com is a series of text messages. You, your organization, school group, you can raise money within a week. Check with the Floyd County softball coaches. They raised $4,300 this year over the $4,000 the year before. Bob Chris, BOBCRST11 at Gmail. It's a great program, man. Sundown Electric, the Smith Brothers. 5-star reviews, one of the best rated businesses around. Superior craftsmanship, attention detail, clear communication, honest, and integrity. And don't forget, we're doing the bash on the 18th of July at the NRV Super Bowl. They'll have Midnight Madness this weekend. You can go in and bowl and stay cool. 540-382-5525. Reach out to Terry or Amanda. Thanks to Morris. Thanks to the NRV Super Bowl. Let me know, by the way, we need to get a head count as quickly as possible over to the Super Bowl. If you're planning on coming, just let me know. Hit me up here in chat or hit me up, DM me, send me a message, whatever. Text line, however it works. And thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel, 4377 Lee Highway, sponsor of our wonderful T-shirts. And if you ever want a T-shirt, hit me up, $20. Boom. I said, boom. And we will get those to you. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. What's up, Abby? Good to have you back. I worked outside my whole life. I can handle the cold way better than he. I get it, man. I can bundle up, but you can't do anything. But see, that's what I'm saying. Totally different perspective. I get it. I get it. What's up, Sapraya? Welcome. So I understand. I understand. But yeah, every tech move is geared toward fundraising. Abby's Place. It has been a long time, Abby. So I took a screenshot, the difference in what the mindset, like for instance, Wisconsin named their new athletic director yesterday. And let me try to find it again. Steve Eichhorst. It says a history of innovation. Now, hang on, as we're rebooting for no apparent reason on the old phone. Technology is a wonderful thing. Everything look okay show-wise to y'all? We had some quirks there earlier. All right, I'm just going to go back to it. A history of innovation and success at the highest level, commitment to student athletes' welfare, and a Wisconsin native. We're proud to announce our new director of athletics, Sean Eichhorst. No nonsense. Looks like an AD. Just has that look. So we'll see what happens coming from Nebraska. So everybody, trying to figure out a way to stay in the game as long as they can. Tech is clearly just everything they're doing is geared toward money that they know they don't have and they know they won't have going forward. What I think it shows too is they understand how this thing's going to look after the TV contracts hit coming up. And when those TV contracts hit, the ACC is going to be dead last in revenue generated by your TV streaming multimedia contract by a lot. This Big 12 is going to jump far and away above it. The ACC doesn't seem to be responding in any way, shape, or form. They have one of the most ill-fated, short-sighted, motivational things they tried to keep schools from talking about leaving. It was almost the defeatist attitude of, so here's what we're going to do. If you win more and you have success, you get to keep the money. So in other words, what you've done, and we've talked about this, if you're Jim Phillips, you've already taken revenue away from your league, from your constituents of your league. Now, the school who gets it could obviously show some goodwill if they were, of that mind and say, hey, we're Miami. We got all the revenue. We played in the championship finale. How much of that money you think Miami shared with anyone else? There'd be none. How does Jim Phillips and everybody in the ACC sit back and think, yeah, boy, we kicked that ass, didn't we? What a great idea. It's great for the team who wins and does well. It's not so great for anybody else. You do have, 15 other members. So I think Virginia Tech's doing this for two reasons. One, they understand the ACC is always going to be floundering financially of the Big Four. And two, they are working very diligently to try to make sure they are going to be included in the next phase. Will Stewart last Friday sent up some smoke signals that he does not believe that Tech's in a good position right now. Ultimately, I mean, it feels very difficult to imagine them not being part of it, but we'll see. But anyway, I think they're trying to be proactive, and Franklin's very good at those types of things. So we'll see. But with the AD, the only thing we've heard about is his ability to raise money. He's bringing his constituent with him. And again, it's about raising money. So you already have a restructuring of the Hokie Club. You got this new trust thing. You've got, money announcements coming in. Now, keep in mind that money has not arrived yet. Everybody, let me get that out of the way too. People think this is money, like the $75 million. People think that it's just there. Here you go. Where do you want me to put this wheelbarrow of $75 million? Just put it in James Franklin's office? No, it's been promised. It hasn't been delivered. And it's not going to be delivered all at once. That's the way it is everywhere. You don't necessarily, unless you're Mark Cuban, and you can say, here's $30 million. Have a great day. But there seems to be immediate, just everybody's on the same page. And I don't know if it's all these new folks are looking around, seeing how painfully behind Virginia Tech has been. Maybe that's the case. Whatever it might be, money, 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 money. And we'll see how this resonates with the fan base, with you who've donated, that continue to donate. It's going to be very interesting how all this plays out. How do corporations respond? I'll tell you what they're going to respond to. They're going to respond if they start winning. If the programs start winning, then people will be saying, here's our money, and then they'll be in a better spot. So this to me is posturing because they know they have to. And maybe this is an admission, and I think this is kind of what Will was talking about, because Will talks to a lot of people over there. That maybe there's an understanding that ADs talk to each other, presidents talk to each other. Things don't usually sideswipe people. Unless, of course, you're talking about UCLA and USC all of a sudden waking up one day and, oh, look, we're going to leave the Pac-12 and go to the Big Ten. What? Tebow says, in a way, I don't blame Miami. Exactly. I don't blame the school at all, Tebow. I'm with you. Miami is doing their part. The SEC's been average at best and haven't stepped up. I could not agree more. The system is set up that way. The blame goes to Jim Phillips. It's stupid. And see, okay, let's look at this from this perspective. Isn't that set up by Jim Phillips? When did that thing come out? 3-4 years ago? The incentives, when all these schools were complaining about the ACC and they knew that there was pursuit and all the rumors. Because, see, people still remember what happened. You got to keep in mind, these commissioners and these ADs and presidents, that move to the Big Ten for UCLA and USC was very fresh. And nobody saw that coming. I've talked to Big Ten guy about it. By the way, Big Ten guy did get back to me about UVA and the SEC. Yeah. He said, Rick, it's the one time that nobody here at my institution, and he's at a very high profile Big Ten institution, where we all sat around and went, wow. Did you guys know that was coming? No. And that was still fresh. So Jim Phillips was scrambling around, he and his brain trust. Sorry. He and the folks that he employs. And they said, why don't we just use an incentive program, and that will entice schools to, the more they put into it and win, the more they'll stay. So they were in reaction mode then, and I think maybe it was a sign that they realized the weak position their conference is in. Now, credit to the Big 12. Now, and I know, and any Big 12 people, we're not trying to throw you under any kind of rug here, but Big 12 football is okay. It's not any better than the ACC from a, glamorous program standpoint. As a matter of fact, the ACC blows the new Big 12 away in terms of marquee blue blood programs. There are 3 blue blood programs in the ACC: Clemson, Florida State, and Miami. How many do the Big 12 hold right now, right? After Texas and Oklahoma, with their natural progression to the SEC. So, but what has the SEC commissioner mindset been? He has been active from day one. I don't see Jim Phillips doing any of this stuff. He came in, had a chip on his shoulder. Everybody looks at us as being, the black sheep, if you will, the fifth wheel of all this. We're going to show you. We're going to go out. We're going to maneuver ourselves. And now what are they doing? They're partnering up with corporations. They're bringing in more dollars. They're being creative as a conference, not working always independently. They just secured a record deal for that league, which is going to kick in this year in the revenue. And even though they're still not changing their profile in terms of their, member institutions, boy, oh boy, they are acting like they are the SEC or the Big Ten, aren't they? Do you ever see that from the ACC leadership? Leadership. Do you ever see any of that? Do we hear about any kind of things that are moving around that's going to benefit the institutions? When's the last time we read an article from Teal or anybody else? Jim Phillips figures. When do we see it? So Virginia Tech has looked around. Okay. We have to just do this ourselves. Remember in the movie, one of the credit scenes, Thanos at the end of one of the Avengers movies looks around and goes, fine, then I'll just do it myself. Right now, Virginia Tech's Thanos. They're trying to do it themselves. See how this ties together? Because tonight on Big Dog Pop, guess what? On Reddit yesterday, the entire plot leak for Avengers Doomsday showed up. It was confirmed by a couple people who worked on the film, and we're going to talk about it tonight. Big Dog Pop, don't miss it. See how that segued right into each other? Joining us on the program right now, we're segueing right into the best coverage of the National Football League with David Smith, the Radford Hall of Famer. What's up, DS? How are you?
Good morning, brother. How you doing today?
Doing okay, man.
I see the hat.
Got my favorite logo. That's my 62 to 65 logo, man.
Yeah, man, you're going way back. That's I can almost relate, but not quite. But yeah.
It's the old nag. That's the old nag. People don't like it. You either like it if you're a Broncos fan, or people just completely hate it. There's no in between. So I love it.
Everything from the beginning. I mostly like. I mostly enjoy that because I'm sure a big part of it is I was so impacted as a youth by it all that I just go, I remember that. You know what I mean? Like Boston Patriots, when the Patriots wear their red, it's great.
Oh, agreed.
It's great.
Pat the Patriot on the helmet.
Yes, with the center snapping the ball, with the Patriots snapping the ball. Great. And we won't get into the uniform thing because you're really. I don't want to upset you.
Your team. Your team burst onto the scene, 69-70, right? You came in and you came out with the perfect uniform.
It was ideal for a Dolphin. It was ideal.
And you're looking at it, and every time you saw it, you're like, wow. Not only were they good teams early, but just look at that.
It was great.
And Nike said, no, we don't want to do that anymore. And the NFL said, okay.
Well, you know what, Rick? There was a stretch somewhere in I guess it was the 90s, where they, I guess, got bored with the success of the league and decided to tinker with uniforms. Not everybody's,
I know,
but if you think about it, like the Steelers' numbers went from being square to round.
To match the helmet. It's the stupidest explanation. They're trying to match the helmet number on the back.
No one even cares.
Who cares?
No one cared. And so the Niners also screwed up, and they'll do it about twice a year with the numbers with the black trim on it. The Niners have iconic, great, big block number uniforms.
The cherry and gold, man. It's just perfect. It's perfect.
It's ideal, but they tinkered with that. Miami did it too when they just went away from perfection. I mean, again, no. Now, I don't even mind if the coaches decide to wear gear that they want to retro the gear. I don't care as much about that. If you say, you know what, we're going to have a black theme with the logo that's real on the black, okay, that's fine. If you want to do something like that, that doesn't bother me. Now, I just especially the NFL. Now, you and I probably differ a little bit on college because there are some brands that aren't ever going to change in college anyway. But when Oregon decided that they couldn't recruit with everybody else, and they said, what are we going to do to get folks here? They just decided we're just going to throw some different uniforms out there because, other than Dan Fouts and I think Ahmad Rashad, who from Oregon, I'm sure there's plenty more, do you remember that were really played for them like you would say USC? So Oregon's out there trying to get attention. So I don't hate that they change up stuff. That's young folks trying to be young. Okay, fine. I can live with that more. And I know you're anti-tech when they wear black. I know.
Can't stand it.
I know. But I don't hate it as much for college as I do for the NFL. NFL has the Eagles, who we're going to talk about here first. They had the great light green.
The Kelly green.
Was it Kelly Green?
Yes, with that silver. It is Wilbert Montgomery, Ron George, Harold Carmichael. Where are you?
Where are you? Bill Berge, when we need you. Come on.
Oh, what great uniform.
They were fantastic uniforms. And so, again, all the tinkering, leave the NFL uniforms alone. And now, Rick, don't go back too far because some of those hideous throwbacks that the Bears wear or the bumblebees that the Steelers wore. No, we're not talking about that.
Worst thing ever.
So some people may take us too serious and say, well, let's go back. Not that far.
Not that far.
Not that far. I'd say the 70s uniforms when the league was really trying to come through in the television era. Yes. That's to me where I thought the uniforms were hitting the mark, and just ask the Raiders who haven't touched theirs. Leave them alone. And when they decide when they get frisky with it, leave it alone. We don't take the call, Mark Davis, if they call you.
Well, to his credit, it's a lot like Alabama. Nike has tried to force them to wear an all black and a black helmet, and immediately they just say, "No, we don't need to."
Silver
it's in
and black.
My dad has this creation and ownership that once we went silver and black, that's our uniform. We don't change it. It's like Nick Saban said about Alabama. We're Alabama. We wear crimson and white.
We're good. And you know what's great? And Penn State right there, they're 1A. Those who you turn the TV on, you know exactly who you're seeing.
Exactly. Correct.
You know exactly who you're seeing. And I am here for all that. And everybody else that wants to tinker, that's fine. Again, like I said, the blue bloods are going to stay who they are. The ones who need attention, hey, they got to do it. Now, Tennessee doesn't need any attention. I don't hate when they wear the black with the orange, and I know it drives you nuts. So that's where we part company a little bit. But here's the funny part, Rick. This is going to sadden you to know. You and I aren't the target audience anymore.
I know.
But we do have microphones. But we do have.
We do. So we can complain about it. We are saying get off our lawn about uniforms. Absolutely.
Yeah, get off my property even.
Get off my property. That's right. Not lawn. Just stay out of my fence line. Just
get out of here. Yeah.
Well, this NFC East is very interesting, isn't it? It's very curious this year. It's going to, I think, have a lot of drama. And you've already mentioned it. the Philadelphia Eagles. What's happening with them? What's going on with Jalen Hurts? What's going on now that they've got one of the cancers out of the organization? What do you think about Philly in 2026?
Well, Rick, it's a sink or swim year, isn't it? It's a do or die. So if everybody wanted to put all the blame on AJ Brown, what are you going to say now? Right? So if this was what the problem was, it's very interesting as I watch a lot of sports all the time, probably way too much. I saw where the Boston Celtics just traded Jaylen Brown to Philly yesterday. Now, all he's done is won a finals MVP. He's taken them to 6 Eastern Conference Finals, 2 NBA Finals. He's been an all-NBA player. Pretty outspoken guy, but he's a solid guy. He's a character guy. He's got a lot of stuff. He's got opinions. But when you decide to get rid of generational type, top player in the league type talent, you better be sure you get it right, because don't think people aren't going to remind you. And so I guess that's why, like some folks say, that's what the money's for. That's why they pay you these bucks. So, but Howie Roseman does a great job of organizing his team. Well, he's rolling the dice a little bit on this one. So we're going to see if this is a TO type thing where sometimes the juice isn't worth the squeeze, even though you know the talent was.
Yeah.
You now know you're giving up something great here. 1,000-yard receiver, leading the team in catches and certainly leading the team in impact down the football field. So you're deciding that that's not going to work. And they've been knowing this forever, a lot like the Jaylen Brown situation with the Celtics. So, all right, Rick, if it was Jalen Hurts, and if they have problems now, it's going to be on him. So I'm sure the conversation now is Sirianni. You don't have to worry about anybody now reading stuff on the sideline. You're not getting passes. All right. But the problem, as I see it, is twofold. One is, why was the ball not going down the field enough if it indeed wasn't?
Yeah.
But, Rick, I also think that this football team 2 years ago, when Saquon broke out with a 2,000-yard season in his first year with the Eagles, was built up front. And up front, that was what they were strong at. Kelsey's retired. And so you've had injuries to Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson, and Mailata. Now, that's 3 of those guys are back from that core group that was so good in Saquon's 2,000-yard season. Will they now be better served because they now can get back to what they're doing, and that is being fundamentally sound running the football? Well, you got Mekhi Lemon, who they drafted. You got Devontae Smith, who now has to be a 1. Can he be a 1 at the NFL level? He's slightly built. Maybe he can. Maybe he can't. Maybe there are people who've done that. Marvin Harrison wasn't a huge receiver for Peyton Manning.
True.
Those kind of guys can make, but Devontae Smith is really slight. And so we're going to know a whole lot about that football team. You just feel like the Eagles last year feel like their team was way, way, way too good to be underperforming like they were. Back-to-back Super Bowls. They lost in one real close. They come back reasonably soon and win another one, 2 and 3 years appearances. And now you've got a situation where folks are looking at you kind of wondering if it's going to happen for you or not. Meanwhile, you had a chance to make strides, and your division has all of a sudden gotten tighter. It's gotten a little bit better. And so you had, I don't want to say free reign in it, but you kind of had a chance to plant your flag there, kind of like the Buffalo Bills did in the East a couple of years ago, and make some hay and try to make it happen. That's why people in Buffalo are so frustrated. You had that window when New England was down, the Jets were down, Miami was down, and you couldn't get through. Now all of a sudden the East has gotten good, New England's gotten good, and the Jets and Miami are trying to get reboots going. And so when you get those windows, you want to certainly take advantage of them. On the defensive side of the ball, there are no issues on paper for the Philadelphia Eagles. Listen to those names: Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, and you've got Cooper DeJean. You've got Marcus Epps. Those names are solid names, Rick, when you start thinking about it. Now, when you start thinking about their schedule this year, they come out the gate. They've got Washington, they're at Tennessee, at Chicago, and then they got the Rams for the first 4 games. Gettable games if you're Philly, 2 at home, 2 on the road. Their bye comes after week number 9, which is kind of where you like it, about midway through the season. The schedule makers set them up pretty good. At the back end of their schedule is heavy lifting. You've got December 19th against Seattle at home. Then you got Houston at home. The Houston game at home is actually on a short week. So they play Sunday, then they play Christmas Eve. You don't want to see DeMeco Ryans on a short week. You don't want to see him anyway. But they're going to come with their head-hunting guys, and then they got to go to San Francisco, and then they go to the Giants for the last 2 games. So those 4 games, I always look at those stretches down the end to determine where teams are going to be. Their last 2 games are on the road. One of them, of course, is the division game at the Giants, who I really think is going to really step up this year and make a stride. So for Philly, it's about now kind of rebooting and just saying to yourself, all right, we've had a lot of chatter around here, probably more than we want, Rick. When you start thinking about getting rid of A.J. Brown, kind of rebooting, all right, cool. If you're going to put it all on him, what you're going to show us now. And so coming off of a season where they were 11-6, probably disappointing in their eyes, I feel like they'll rebound to be a playoff team. Not sure if they're going to be the division champs or not. I really feel like they're going to come back and make some strides. I really feel like if they don't, Rick, that you're going to see some serious changes made in Philly.
Agreed. Howie won't wait if they fail again. There's no doubt about it.
No.
And failing, what we mean by failing in Philly is if you're not a legitimate Super Bowl contender.
100%.
Let me ask you this before we move on. Can Jalen Hurts get this team back? It did feel like he lost that team, lost the respect of that team. It was led by Brown, who's out of there. So obviously the organization did what they had to do. They're going to stand behind the guy who got them to the Super Bowls, who's been the Rock. Can he – if you're not a leader, you're not a leader. You can't force it. You can't be fake. Does he have to go out and just win this thing over again by the way he plays, or how does he get this team back?
Well, Rick, this is what's going to be interesting. I don't want to dodge your question by not giving you a great answer, but the fact is we're going to know if A.J. Brown led that charge, if it was just those two that kind of made the locker room pick a side.
Yeah.
And Rick, if that was the case, if they picked the A.J. side, if indeed this is what it was, are they going to still align with A.J. because he's gone and kind of just go away from him? Or will Jalen get them back together? Because you and I are fans of the guy as a football player. The guy's a stand-up guy. He gives you all those things. But there were some folks who felt like he had gone away from the thing that had made him a little bit. That's just what the chatter was. Again, you know what you can do with chatter, right? But I'm confident in the guy. I'm partial to the guy. I'm biased to the guy because I just like the way he operates. He probably does it the way most people should do in a football team. Say less and play harder. You know, no excuses a lot of the time. He's just about his business. And so to me, I think we're going to know early on. But again, Rick, a lot of this stuff is the best deodorant in the world is winning football games. And so a lot of times if they're winning, you may not know everything. If they're winning and you still hear noise, like if guys aren't getting the football or those kind, I'll be surprised if you hear that. Saquon Barkley's not that kind of guy. Devontae Smith's not that kind of guy. I think the noise will be quieter. If you made me pick, I'd say I have confidence that he'll right the ship and get that team back where they need to be.
Plus, he's the guy, too, that a lot of people have counted out in his collegiate career, right? Alabama, he was done, right? He's done. What does he do? He goes out and turns himself into an NFL prospect at Oklahoma, and now the rest is history. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So I'm not going to bet against the guy. Yeah,
Heisman finalist. All he wants is more adversity. See, now all he wants is like, just give me another reason to go squat 600 pounds for you.
Right.
There you go.
All right, so the Eagles are in the books. Who's next on David Smith's list of the NFC East?
Not in any particular order, but the New York Football Giants are an intriguing team, probably the most intriguing team that of the 32 teams this year for me, because I'm such a fan of John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh, I'm partial. My wife's a Baltimore fan. We watch a lot of Ravens football. I would watch a lot of Ravens football. She wasn't a fan of them. Liked the way they played the game. Like the way they represented football and the spirit that is supposed to be, physicalness, domination up front, solid defense, run the football, a couple splash plays, Lamar 2 MVPs. You really root for Lamar to do his thing. But it just, for some reason, had ran its course with Harbaugh. And so he quickly let folks know he wasn't done coaching, and he landed in New York where right away he started his roster construction and his roster build. He didn't have to go far. Folks followed him right out of the building straight to New York in a lot of cases. But he had pieces in place too, Rick. And I think when coaches decide they're going to make these kind of moves, Tony Dungy, when it didn't work out in Tampa, he lands in Indy right out the gate. Gruden, when he left the Raiders, it ended up in Tampa. A lot of these things you look at, you kind of say, Andy Reid, when he leaves Philly, goes to Kansas City. They kind of already, you just feel like, without any knowledge of this, you just feel like these folks know where they want to end up, what they want to do, what the roster looks like, what the infrastructure looks like. Harbaugh looks like he was made to be in New York. That's a big part of it. That's a big market. You know, the Coughlins and the Parcells and the Lombardi trophies that sit up there. The standard is the standard up there, the old Mike Tomlinism. And so now the key to them is Jackson Dart, behave yourself on the football field, be available.
Yeah.
Quit being a risk taker. Right. You cannot, basically, if you want to be all the things you say you want to be, you can't do it in a cart, in a blue tent, and on crutches, and in a boot, and all those things. Get what you can get, and understand that this league is forever. The physicality is always dominated. So just recognize, I'm not even going to complicate it, bro. Get down. Get out of bounds. Make it easy. If Jameis Winston is the backup still, they've kept him there. He's been a breath of fresh air. This new revitalization of him has been kind of fun to see in different parts of the world. I think he's really understood his place in the NFL right now. And every time he comes in and plays, he does an okay job. He'll do fine for Harbaugh because he won't have to complicate things a lot. The key to them, too, though, is they got a lot of guys that you're counting on that are injured. Cam Scatterboo, who's coming off of a broken leg injury. Malik Neighbors, who had the ACL. And you got Darius Slayton, who's also banged up in the offseason. But these are offseason. This is still early July. You still got about 2 months before they return. Training camp's in about 3 weeks for some teams. Isaiah Likely followed him from Baltimore as well as Patrick Ricard, the all-pro fullback. So what do you think Baltimore is going to do? Not many teams even have a full-time fullback anymore. What do you think Baltimore is going to do? Line them up, smash you out. Typical NFC football coming from the AFC North, coming over to the NFC East. I think that's a whole lot to love about it. Up front's going to be key, Rick, and that's concerning because if Jackson Dart was running as much as he was, that probably means he wasn't being protected. That's typical of a team that's in the lower half of the league statistically on offense as well as record-wise. On the defensive side of the ball, Tremaine Edmonds, Virginia Tech's own, he left Chicago. Chicago let him go. He landed right with the Giants right away. So he had options. He ended up there. Expect him to be an inside linebacker for them. He's had a fantastic career. Abdul Carter. You've got Brian Burns, Arvell Reese. Darius Alexander, Shelby Harris. They've got really, really good pieces. Now, they lost a key guy in the offseason, but if there's one thing I don't think you should worry about with any Harbaugh-led football team is whether they will be respectable enough on defense to win football games. Now, I don't know that they'll be the Ravens teams that we've seen, but I tell you what they won't be. They won't be a horrible defensive football team. So they'll play complimentary football, Rick, and they'll need to because as they start the season, it's not going to be easy for them either. They're going to start against Dallas. It will be a home game on Sunday night. The Giants and Dallas seem like there's a lot of those games that open the NFL season. Doesn't break my heart, quite frankly. It's fun to see those. Then they got to go play the Rams, and then they're home for Tennessee, home for Arizona. It's a chance for them, actually, upon reflection, to get off to a decent start. That's 4 games. They should beat Tennessee. They should beat Arizona. They're going to give Dallas a good game. The Rams will be tough. They could come out of the gate, right out of the gate, rather, and be okay, Rick. They could be okay. They close the season against Cleveland, at Detroit, at Dallas, and then home for the Eagles. And so in between there, that's to me where the Giants have got to figure this thing out. I've got confidence in them. Weirdly, I don't know why I would have confidence in a football team that struggled so much last year, but a lot of it was injuries, Rick, as you know. And at that particular point, you go 4-13, people are going, why would you have confidence in them? But I've never felt more sure that a guy coming into a team with a lot of guys coming back that only won 4 games, that I feel like at the very least they're going to be above 500 or right at it this year. So a 5-game improvement to go to 9-8, it's not out of the realm for me for the Giants this year. The key is, as you know, quarterback position, keeping Dart upright.
Yeah, and there's no doubt. And the 2 reasons that Harbaugh said he went to New York was one, it's a historic. He used a college term. He called him a blue blood of the NFL and the respect he has for the Mara family. And the other one was Jackson Dart. He looked around. He had options. Basically, Jim Harbaugh was said, which one do you want? Take it. And he chose Jackson Dart.
That's exactly right.
In New York. And I think there's some things that have to be fixed in an organization. I thought it was ridiculous the coverage he got because he did something politically. The media jumped all over that like it was some kind. We have guys that are going out and committing heinous crimes, felonies, getting less coverage from the media than that did in New York. And the fact that his teammates had to – I thought that shows me this organization is going to have to get beyond crap like that if you're going to be a football team. Once again, politics has to come in and ruin everything. It never should have gotten to that point. And I wonder at your quarterback, that's the guy who's supposed to be your leader. has that created some kind of wedge that he's too young to fix? And that's what Harbaugh's got to address with this team, in my opinion. We'll see.
Well, the good news is that the guys got together, whether they were pushed to do it or whatever, and they came out and said the way I think you should handle it. Guys, we're good. Stay out, that kind of thing. So however you feel about what he did or didn't do, at least the guys came together. Actually, it was led by, I think it was Abdul Carter, who started the noise. Then he repaired the noise, and then he came back in and says, hey, we're good, because listen, locker rooms have had those kinds of things. They always have those things. They're very polarizing. But the one thing that's recognizable right now for this football team is they did the thing that you had to do. They put the noise away. See, it's when you think about the Eagles, it just kept lingering. It kept lingering.
It did.
There was
Never went away. Never went away.
Whatever you feel about a problem, sit down like two grown men and fix it, and then come out to the people and say, we have fixed it, and then it's done. Now, if you don't fix it, that means you either haven't tried or you don't want it fixed. For the Giants, until you just brought that back up, Rick, I'd forgotten that it happened. You know why? Because they squashed it, and so the media had nothing else to talk about. And now they're back to the business of football. And that, to me, is the Harbaugh way, because I think he recognizes a little bit with Lamar when stuff hangs around in football.
It hung around there, didn't it? Yeah.
It just hangs around. It's a hard grind, these guys going back here in this month in July. I've never played it, but I just read, follow, and watch. It's hard to play football for 6 months. It's very hard. I say 6 months. They actually never really stopped training, Rick. I mean,
they never stopped.
You think about this heat that we've got outside right now. Now, here we are in T-shirts and caps and no caps. Now, you go put on about 10 pounds, 15 pounds of equipment and go out there in this heat and have to grind to get yourself ready to play, and then try to be of sound mind and get in front of a hot mic and try to project some good stuff. So, as I see the Giants, good for them, Rick, as you mentioned, to put that to bed. And now they're about the business of football, and that's a young team. What they don't need is a lot of noise, and so I'll give them credit for putting that down.
All right, 2 down, 2 to go. Are we going to that team with the most famous logo in the league, or are we going to go to a team that's counting on the health of their quarterback returning?
That one. Yeah, we'll save the America's team thing for last, but we'll go to Washington now, where 2 years ago we really fell in love with what they were doing up there. I think a lot of it, too, was the fact that how great was it to see, if you're from our area, the Washington football team, whether it's Redskins or Commanders, are so relevant to the fabric of this state.
No doubt.
It's everything to it. And even and one thing about football, every season we feel like it's the next time it's going to happen, and then you get disappointed. But
early sometimes.
Listen, I am a prime example of it. My football team has not won a Super Bowl since 1973. Hadn't been in one since 1984. Dan Marino, who we're still waiting to go back. He'll be back.
He's still waiting on that ring. Yeah.
He'll get back. He'll get back. We're now 53 years and counting since we won a Super Bowl. But you best believe week number 1, I'll be in teal. Yeah, you can believe that. I'm going to be in the teal, aqua-ish gear. It's what I'm going to do. And football attaches you like nothing else in the state of Virginia. For all of us here, we love Washington. Even when I don't root directly for them, I don't hate them. I have respect for that football team for what it's meant. My dad, rest his soul, was a Washington fan, and my sisters and mom, they're all in. And so
always on TV here locally, right?
Always on.
Always.
We grew up with them. We grew up with them. I mean, Billy Kilmer and all those cats, and Larry Brown, and
love Larry Brown,
Dyron Talbert, and then the stretch in the 80s, where Joe Gibbs, again, as you said, still underappreciated. 3 Super Bowls, 3 quarterbacks.
It's insane.
And by the way, Rick, in an NFC East, let's just we'll get to the command. Let's talk about this. In the NFC East, that had the Cowboys in it, that had Lawrence Taylor in it, that had the Eagles with Buddy Ryan's defense in it. I mean, you're talking about these guys were no joke that they were playing against. I mean, and the Niners were really good then too. This was a Joe Montana-led group during that stretch in those 80s when they were winning. So it wasn't like they were sneaking through the championship game. And by the way, the Bears was playing pretty well at that time too. This is the 80s we're talking about. They won 3 Super Bowls. And they beat Buffalo's head in one of those in the early 90s as well, right as the Cowboys were starting to grow. So
100%, yeah.
So this football team's got a lot of proud tradition. I think what resonated around why folks follow them so much was the unfortunate debacle that Daniel Snyder had become and the bad person he became. Everybody, even if you didn't like Washington, you felt like that franchise deserves better people. Exactly. And so the new ownership came in, and you just felt like, I mean, just some of the stuff you heard coming out the building, that there was wonderfulness there. There was a chance the employees to feel good about stuff. And Magic Johnson comes in. And I mean, if he's attached to it, you know they're going to be about the seriousness of winning. And then you bring in Daniels at the same time. It was just great to see them have the run that they had. Now, last year, everybody was still in love with them. They just couldn't perform on the football field because, Rick, again, the number one position in all of sports. If you don't have it right, it's just hard to do. You're not going to win. Rick, it's hard to do. The defense. I've seen clips of like the Ravens back when, God bless, when they had Trent Dilfer and they were trying to go through all that. Tony Banks. I remember Ray Lewis saying, we might just have to score all the points today as well.
That's right.
Just think about that. Stop them and score too. You think it to yourself. So that's hard to do when you look, Rick, you play football. When it's 3 and out and you go back on the field and you're the defense and you're on the field for 8, 9, 10 plays and you bang it and you get over and you can't even get the water finished and it's like punt again. It's like, man, and you can love them. But I'm sure at some point when they're walking off the field, you're probably giving them the look like, man, what y'all going to do today?
What are we doing, guys?
What are we doing? So Washington this year, we hope that won't be the case because we got an upright Jaden Daniels, who I'm probably right now is getting stronger. You know, you think about Lamar when he started, he was slight of build. You don't even think of Lamar being slight anymore. Remember how small he used to be?
Oh,
you say, man. But do you ever even look at Lamar now and think of him being small? You don't even think that anymore because he's grown into his man body as you would expect Daniels to do throughout the years. Terry McLaurin's still there. Luke McCaffrey had a great season a couple years ago. And so now the key is it's all about Jaden Daniels. They still got Mariota as his backup. And so they're built to understand that he's going to get some dings. And I don't hate the Mariota backup because it's a smooth enough transition to it. Marcus Mariota, Heisman Trophy winner, starting quarterback for Tennessee for a number of years. He can get the job done. He's not ideal, but he's not going to bother a locker room. He's going to be good. Tim Settle, Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw, defensively, they're going to be okay there as well. The division's just hard. Right? The division's just hard. I just feel like, to me, if Jaden Daniels was back to his 2024 season, they will be able to make some noise. The question will be how they're going to navigate a tough schedule when they've got the Eagles and Dallas on the road to start the season. So right out the gate, you've got an opportunity to make some hay or be in the hole. That's 2 division games. 15 days into the season, you're going to either be 0-2 in the division or 2-0 in the division or 1-1 perhaps. But those are 2 road games. Imagine getting 2 road wins if you're the Commanders right out the gate. 2 road division wins, and not to mention NFC wins. You start thinking tiebreaker in the NFL right out the gate when you have a 17-game schedule, not 162. All those games matter coming down the stretch. They have Seattle and then Indy right after that. And so an opportunity for them to find out what's going on. 3 of those, or actually all 4 of those teams are going to be challenging football games. Down the stretch, they finish with Atlanta at home, at Minnesota, at Jacksonville, home for Dallas. So they'll close out the season with Dallas at home, start the season with Philly on the road, coming off a season where I think they won 4 football games. I have a lot of confidence in what they're going to do. The challenge will be who above you can you knock off to move back up into the area where you were. Again, this was an NFC championship game team in 2024 where they lost to the Eagles. I mean, that's saying a lot. Not the Niners, right? You know, not the Rams. That was the Commanders in the NFC championship game in Philly just a couple of years ago. So I have a lot of confidence in the fact that they can rebound.
I do too.
If their quarterback stays up, right?
Correct. And that's who I have confidence in because I think from a young quarterback perspective, he has one of the best mindsets of a guy coming into the league. Just some of the things he said at LSU at the end. And he's not a guy, unlike Dart, who's careless and doesn't think about it. Jaden Daniels knows he can't do that. He just had some bad luck with injuries. He knows when to run. He's not a guy who's dedicated to always getting out of the pocket. No. It's his last choice, unless there's a design play. He's had some bad luck. So I know he's smart enough because I really think he's a guy that sees the game a little differently for a young player at that position. And I think he's got that going for him. And like you said, he's been working on his body. He's been talking about it. He looks great. keep him upright. I hope he stays upright because I think when he's in the league is a whole lot better when he's able to play.
Well, so. And Rick, how about the fact that you've got him, you've got Dak Prescott, you got Jackson Dart, and Jalen Hurts. You couldn't have 4 better representatives as quarterbacks, as people, good folks in the league. Yeah. And we'll figure out what Dart is, until he's still young. But I mean, but people who've been around him have understood in terms of, like, you think about Jalen Hurts and Daniels. They seem like fantastic people. People love to follow them, that kind of thing. And so, and they're really, really young. Dak Prescott, not so much anymore, but I still don't think of Dak Prescott as an old guy. As we segue
into the richest team in all the world, the Dallas Cowboys, who've been valued now, what is it, almost $4 billion if they went on the market. Crazy. Yeah. And I think Dak Prescott is one of the best people in the league.
He's fantastic.
I will always have so much respect for him with everything he went through, and he wasn't shy about sharing it and going out and helping other people. I think it's wonderful. He's been through so much scrutiny as the quarterback of that team. He is the least of their problems, people. I keep telling people, keep on piling on Dak Prescott. How about going to the 80-year-old in the front office who lost his touch a long time ago, right?
If he ever had it.
Yeah.
If he ever had it. And so whoever's so I won't throw total sand on him, kick sand on his face, because somebody has made some pretty good draft picks along the way, including this Dak Prescott guy. So whether it was him, whether it was Steven or whomever, there are some guys that they brought in. The challenge for me isn't so much that, it's the feeling that he has to be part of the show. That's that. Like, I don't hear Harry Roseman. You ever see an interview with him? You never, rarely if ever see him.
He just acts. He doesn't speak about it.
That's the deal. Stuff's getting done. It just gets done. Not to mention owners. You rarely see an owner at all, unless there's one of those, it's an owners meeting and you might catch somebody on the drive by. Jerry, weekly TV spots, weekly radio spots, so that can be a bit much to me. But if you're a Dallas Cowboy player or fan, you've learned to understand that this is the art of the deal. This is what it is. But I'm not going to lose focus on what you said. Dak Prescott is not the problem for the Dallas Cowboys. He's not been the problem. He works his tail off. There are people who are like, well, you shouldn't have paid Dak all that money. Listen, if you're a quarterback in the NFL, somebody's going to pay somebody a lot of money. It's just no one's going to quarterback for free. And if you think he's a guy and he's not the problem, get him in there and watch what happens. And again, just remember, he was a 4th-round pick. Tony Romo was the guy. All of a sudden, Tony gets hurt. Dak steps in and outplays that deal he was on. Next thing you know, you look at Tony and you couldn't take him out of the lineup, Rick. I mean, people forget that's how he got the job. You couldn't take him out at that particular point. He was just playing. He played way better than even Jerry or any of them thought. They thought enough of him to put him on the team, give him credit. But no one saw that. I saw him in Mississippi State. His team did go to number 1 in the country. People forget when he was in college. Played for Dan Mullen, who ended up going to Florida, and now I think he's at UNLV. So Dak's a quarterback. Joe Milton from Tennessee is the backup, Rick. Again, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. Hallelujah, Dallas. You don't have any contract holdouts going into training camp. What will you talk about? Everybody that you want is buttoned up. It's probably the quietest. It's not a Dak deal you're worried about. It's not a CeeDee Lamb deal you're worried about. It's not a George Pickens deal you're worried about. You don't have a major player contract issue that I see laying around at all. And guess what? You've got a linebacker, the offensive linebacker that's got Guyton and Smith and Booker and Beebe and Steele. I think that's a pretty good offensive line again. Your boy Javonte Williams, who ran well for Dallas after finally getting over the injury bug, and he did a solid job running the football. You're okay. I can't find any problems. It's actually, Rick, for Dallas, it's been relatively quiet. For them. For them. Hadn't been a whole lot of noise going on. Quinnen Williams is on defense with them. They've got some questions on the back end there. DeRon
That's
Bland,
what they got to fix.
They got problems. They to me, I mean, you let Diggs go. I think Diggs is gone after just a tough off. He was hurt, wasn't hurt, wouldn't play. that ended not great for them.
No.
So they've got back end issues that they've got to shore up, because everybody on their depth chart that I'm seeing that's relevant, 3 of the 4 are dealing with injuries, recovering from injuries. So I'm not sure who they're going to put back there. And what you don't want is to have to put Dallas in a shootout type of situation. So that kind of has me concerned about them, Rick. And coming out the gate, Dallas is going to have their primetime games. They're going to be on visible the whole bit. And we already talked about the New York game being the first NBC game of the season. Then they got Washington. Then they've got Baltimore in the game in Brazil. And then they've got at Houston, Tampa at home, and then they're at Green Bay, and then at Philly. Yeah, man. So where's the break? And remember, they're coming back from Brazil, and they got to go down to Houston. And Houston always plays Dallas well, whether it's one of those
they're motivated,
Texas kind of games. I think they used to always play a preseason game too, just because of the proximity and that kind of thing, which I always thought was smart. And then their bye week doesn't come until after December 7th. And so remember now, Dallas has those Thursday games around Thanksgiving squeezed in there. They've got the Niners on I always think about this. They got the Niners on Sunday the 15th, Tennessee on Sunday the 22nd. Then they got the Eagles on Thanksgiving on a short week. So they got the Eagles on a short week, and then they come back on December 7th after a long stretch. You got to go out west and play Seattle. And then they get a bye week. So Thanksgiving game, they get a bit of a break, got to go all the way out west and play Seattle, the world champs, and then they get a bye week, and then they close out with the Rams, Jacksonville, Giants, and at Washington. So, again, Dallas doesn't shy from it. They're going to get primetime games. They're going to get eyes on them. The key to me this year, though, for them, Rick, is I don't worry about the offense this year. I'm concerned about the defense in terms of the personnel. We got to see who they brought in, who can plug that back in. A lot of times they've done a really good job of drafting people who we didn't know, and they've made them all NFL players, certainly all Pro Bowl type players. And so the Dallas coming off of a 7-9-1 season, I do not know if they're going to be enough to get to the top of this division.
I remember last year when the Broncos had their best, they beat Dallas. It was like, I don't know, 44-24, 45-24, whatever it was. And I remember Sean Payton had to stop himself during the postgame presser because he was like, people were asking about how Bo Nix played. He goes, well, we got a lot of things we didn't expect. And he stopped and he went, we had a lot of openings on their defense that we necessarily didn't expect. So in other words, he's saying, I was in Dallas. I know how it's supposed to look. They have not done much at all to fix that defense. And I just don't know, man. I know Dak and people in chat would say he doesn't win when it counts and all that. Yeah, and he hasn't. Okay, we know that. He has not won in the playoffs but have they ever been a team that in the playoffs that's gotten there because of any other reason other than Dak Prescott? When they have played in the postseason, right? Is that defense led them to that? Have they had this unbelievable running game? Like you mentioned, the offensive line? No, they have not been a complete team since their last Super Bowl, right? They've been horrible. And look how long it's been since they won the Super Bowl. It's been 30 years. Over 30 years.
Well, think about it. Bill Parcells couldn't even do it. I mean, Bill Parcells was there with Romo and T.O. He had that stretch. They had, Marion Barber? They had him. He was a great running back for a period of time. I mean, listen, they can't get out of their own way. They're kicking the extra point in Seattle to try to, I think the game goes overtime, and Romo, he fumbles a snap on the kick. I mean, you just think about, and then you think about the game where Dallas is playing Green Bay in the playoff, and Aaron Rodgers makes one of the best throws that's ever been made in the history of the NFL when he rolls to his left and throws a seed down the sideline that's caught, that extends that game, and Green Bay kicks a field goal and wins it. And so that was a game where Dak played wonderfully. So quarterbacks get a lot of the blame. They don't probably get as much credit. They get a lot of the blame. But in that particular game, I think Dak threw for 300 or 400 yards in the game. He did not lose the game for them. There's times when the defense has to go out and win it. And that's why with Josh Allen, I felt the same way. You think about the Kansas City Chiefs, 13-second game. Josh walks off the field. He's got the game buttoned up. 13 seconds, guys. Go get a stop. And he lets the Chiefs march down the field, kick a field goal, and 13 seconds to go. And then they go, Josh can't win the big game. Hey, come on now. Give it context. Give it the right context, guys. Listen, if you don't think the Dallas Cowboys are a better football team with Dak Prescott, go back to when he was hurt and watch how they played. And you'll think real quick about revising that commentary. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I'm with you.
He is. And Rick, he's always, and I admire this. I'm told I'm this way a lot, whether it's I'm not comparing myself to him. Sees it always half full. Hey, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna get it fixed. And I don't know how you approach sports any other way, because the opposite of that is gloom and doom. You have to feel like you're gonna do it. I think
Especially
we're gonna be better.
Position. Yeah,
you have to, Rick. You have to. Now you can be real about it. Like he goes to press conference and he'll say, "Hey, we got to be better. We stunk on this." You can say that, but then he always comes back and says, "I feel like we'll get better." I mean, I don't know how you line up and play that sport without feeling like the next game. And that's probably where a lot of the optimism I like to think comes from in my world is you play a game of basketball. Hey, we lose the game last night. We got another one coming. So what are you going to do? You going to hang on? You don't have time, Rick. You don't have time to hang on to that. You know what? You get on the bus, you get something to eat. And by tomorrow, you're back at practice. You're on to the next game. You gotta flush it. You got to keep it moving. And so in that league, you only have so many games. You only have so many chances to do it. I love the way he leads them. And quite frankly, he's not been the problem. I love to see. Nothing would make us more proud, probably, that you and I, we're fans of these guys that are good people, too. And I applaud you for feeling the same way as me. The Jalen Hurtses of the world and the Dak Prescotts and the Jaden Daniels, you just really like those guys. You really like those guys in a sport that really, and they don't even have to be that nice, and they are. So what a great situation for them. The problem is that's too many guys to try to win one division. Only one team can win a division. Rick, I actually feel like this year, and I'm going to have to pause on who I think is going to be at the second team in. I think the Eagles are going to win the division, though. I think the Eagles are going to come back and win the division. I think the Eagles are going to win the division. I think that the Giants are going to be heard from. I don't know if they're going to crack through the top yet, but I think they're going to make some noise in the division. I think the Eagles will win the division. I think the Commanders will be second. I got Dallas third and the Giants fourth.
Oh, wow.
But what's funny about it is this. I flipped on that because I was thinking at one time I was going to say, well, let's just put the Giants. Let's just do something. I think that's just too – I don't know that Dart can do it all right now, but I think he will. But I think Eagles, Commanders, Dallas, Giants. But it could be one of those divisions where it could be 9-8, 8-9, 8-9, 7-10. It could be really like that. I really feel it's going to be really competitive. I think any game this year on the NFL package, if you get it like I do, if the Giants are playing somebody, watch it. And if it's a division game, it can go any way in the world. I'll be surprised if anybody runs through that division unscathed. They may all end up splitting their 3 games in that division. I really feel like it's that close. I really do.
I think the Eagles, I agree. I think they're going to win. And to me, it feels like they're close together. For some reason, I think the Eagles are still a couple gaps ahead of everybody. And I think
I do too.
I just feel like, like I said, I think Hurts is going to bounce back. I think that defense is going to be really good. I think the chemistry is going to be better. They still have Barkley. They got a great offensive line. That defense is just, I mean, it can solve so many ills early in the season.
Yes, sir.
I think the Eagles are going to win the division. I do. I agree.
And by the way, Rick, while a lot of those guys are still on rookie deals, you talked about putting all your chips to the center of the table. Well, that bill's going to come due. You got all that young talent, and the league is sitting there going, or those agents are going, hey, Howie, you got us now. we got you a ring. We got you to the Super Bowl another time with all those Georgia guys. Some of those bills are going to come due. We got to make some decisions on who we're going to keep and whatnot. That's why I really feel like this year they're going to play with a lot of desperation. A lot of folks playing for contracts down the stretch here, and they're really good. They really are talented. They're 11-6 last year, and we want to go 11-6. A lot of people would take 11-6. I'd have taken 11-6. The Eagles get 11-6 and don't make it far, and they're saying to themselves, once you taste that Super Bowl, there's nothing like it. And they've been to 2. I mean, Jalen Hurts has been to 2, and Jalen outplayed Mahomes in that one Super Bowl that they lost. Not to mention what he did in the one they won.
No, he did. He did.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm putting a lot of confidence in the Commanders over the Cowboys and over the Giants. I'm a little wonky on that one, but it depends on Jaden Daniels. But I like to see if he can stay upright, if they can come back and surprise people, because I think Dan Quinn recognizes too how important it is to make sure to play complementary football. Remember, he's a defensive guy, and so he's got to build that thing to play complementary. So much of it's not on Jaden this year too.
And I just believe they have great, like up top, they have great football structure.
They do.
in the organization.
They do.
So to
They
me,
do.
I don't think anybody else in that. I think the Giants are getting there. Cowboys, I know, don't. And it seems like Washington's got an owner. It's not really sure yet, so they're getting there, but the Eagles are there. And so I think that also sets them aside for me too.
Yeah. The Eagles remind me a little bit, Rick, of the Chiefs in that it may not work. It may not work. It's funny. Andy Reid's at both places, right? Been at both. It may not work, but it won't be because the organization's not understanding what to do. So in other words, sometimes, Rick, it doesn't work because the other team just happens to be better. But it doesn't mean that what you're doing isn't good. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, oh, man, we can't get over the hump. Let's blow it all up. Like the Buffalo Bills felt it was time for Sean McDermott to go. Okay? All he had done was won. I think he won. He was plus 50 and winning. I think 98 and 40.
I still don't understand that.
He's 58 games over 500. And they felt like, well, he's the problem. It's like, hey, I'm the problem. I can't play the game too. So there he is on the sideline. He and Mike Tomlin, Wayman Murray guys. They're both on the sideline. And sometimes I think people need to change for the sake of saying they did something different. That football team was an okay team. I don't think it was the coach's fault that they couldn't win the games. Sometimes a guy like Mahomes comes through and with 13 seconds to go, he takes the team down the field, and that's not so much on you. Now, some will say, well, what kind of defense are you playing? That's over. If you want to nitpick that, fine. If you're up with 13 seconds to go, any coach should be able to come in and finish that football game. If the team can't finish that, and some players got to make plays too, Rick. Sometimes players got to make plays too. So, that's the tough one to me. So we're going to see in this old NFC East, man. It's going to be probably as competitive and closely watched in terms of record wise as any of the teams that we're going to see this year for sure.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Well, man, good stuff. As always, breaking down the NFC East. We have so many people in chat have NFC East fanships, so that's great. That's great.
Well,
I hope you and the
Andy
fam have a great 4th this weekend.
Vacation.
Grilling out, you guys.
Thank you. No, wife is going to New Orleans.
Yeah,
she's going to New Orleans to take on a jazz festival with her girlfriend. So I'm going to be probably hanging out with the family, laying low, staying inside. I think, Rick. Though, listen, and by the way, you and I love warm weather. We're not the complainers that some are,
Yeah.
I think. And this will put it to the test. Let me tell you, yesterday and today will put it to the test because it is not cool outside. It is very hot. But I am not wearing a coat. I'm not wearing a jacket, and my hands aren't freezing. And for everybody who loves cold weather, God bless you. I'll take this. Now, I don't want either extreme. I don't want 99. I don't want 2 degrees.
Correct.
But if you're making me have to deal with the upper 80s or the low 20s,
correct.
Give me this. I don't have to warm the car up. I don't have to warm the car up.
I'm with you.
There you go.
Well, have fun this weekend with the family, man. All right. And we will
look
at the North next week, correct?
Yes, sir. We're going to the
North.
We're going to see what's going on. Yeah, man. Green Bay.
All right, man. Be good. There you go.
We got you. All right, buddy.
That's what I thought. All right. Be good, man. There you go. David Smith joining us on the program. Great stuff. Great breakdown of the division. Jonathan Sweet's going to join us in about 10 minutes or so. I just think the Eagles are the best organization in the NFC East. I think it's not even close. And it's all because of Howie Roseman. I just think that's a guy that seems to always push the right button personnel-wise. I think the A.J. Brown departure was his priority. He was very patient, which I liked. It wasn't like a quick knee-jerk reaction. And I like the fact that he sided with his quarterback in that dispute. And to David's point, it's going to be very interesting to see. Will there be a faction of that team that thinks, our quarterback ran off our guy? I don't think so. I think the Eagles are about winning. I think the way they play defense is indicative of that. And I think Jalen Hurts is a guy that's going to be more determined than maybe he shows on the outside, right? Because he doesn't have that personality. The peripheral is not what you usually get from a quarterback who's a leader of a franchise. But I'll tell you one thing, the way he plays and the results have been there. Maybe he tries to step that up. But the one thing about it, if he does try to do that, he's got to be very he can't be disingenuous. And I think that's the thing that I'll be interested to see how he handles all of that from that perspective. And I know he knows he has to do some work in that clubhouse. And if they get all that shored up, I'm telling you, I think the Eagles are the obvious favorite in that division. As a matter of fact, I think they're probably two division games better than anybody else in that division. I really do. That's just me, though. But I base a lot of that on two things. One, I think Hurts bounces back, but I think that running game is going to be good with Barkley. It has to be. And that defense, Tebow, you've mentioned it. It has a chance. I mean, it's really good right now on paper. It has a chance to be great. And whenever you have that side of the ball as securely positioned as the Eagles do, good luck. Good luck. I want to thank all of our great sponsors here on the program. Don't forget the NRB Super Bowl, July the 18th. That's where we'll be doing the bash. Thanks to Terry and Amanda, 540-382-5525. They've been serving the community for over 25 years. And don't forget this weekend, they'll have Midnight Madness, Boogie Bowling. It's awesome. Glow in the dark. It's really cool. Sundown Electric, excellent reputation, long list of satisfied clients. They attest to superior craftsmanship, great cost, attention to detail, clear communication. ReadySetFund.com, Bob Christ, BOBCRIST11 at Gmail. Find out how a series of text messages can help you raise money for your organization and your event. Professional Door Incorporated, residential commercial garage doors. We are in July. Do not hesitate 1 second. Go out there and call today. If you have a garage door that you want to get maintenance, 674-0008, $40 off. All you have to do is say, hey, I'm calling. Heard Big Dog Sports Talk talking about the $40 discount, and boom, it'll be immediately applied to your service. And again, the service does not have to be completed in the month of July, but it has to be set up and scheduled. So reach out today, 674-0008. Do it. You'll be glad you did. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of this show, and of course me. And if you're having questions about your own bank and your money being secured long term, you won't have any questions anymore once you turn to National Bank. I've been with them for 35 years. I mean, from Brad DiNardo to Lara Ramsey, you talk about leadership. Whew. You know, I always say the fish rots from the head. At places like National Bank, the fish grows into a record-setting marlin. I just made that up. BDST Fan Question of the Week, brought to you by the attorney Ryan Bryant, 701 West Main Street in Radford, Trust and Estate Planning, England. People think going to win the World Cup. Little River Heating and Air, Charles Lee, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. We're about to hear in just a moment from the leader of that organization. They are the presenting sponsor of this program, thanks to Jonathan Sweet and to Tim Miller. Next Wednesday, I'm going to head over to McClellan Chiropractic and hang out with Mark. Maybe I'll get him to crack my back. But we're going to film me going through the gauntlet and have that for you here on the program. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And then Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios here in Reiner, 540-282-94. Let Jonathan know that I just sent the invite. Good stuff and great stuff from David Smith. The White Vic comes up, and he's got the whole skinny on Maryland. It's going to be great. Big Dog Pop tonight. Don't want to miss it. I have the complete plot of the upcoming MCU's last desperation to try to save their franchise. The whole doomsday. And it is one of the dumbest things I've ever read. I don't care about the spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled, then you may not want to watch that segment tonight. I'll put up a spoiler alert tonight for people. But I have the whole breakdown. It was confirmed by two people who actually worked on the film. Hollywood is just incapable, for the most part, of making anything any good anymore. Well, they're not incapable. They don't want to. They have other things that they're trying to accomplish. And that's where we are with all that. Any event, be sure to reach out to Professional Door. 674, by the way, those of you on the text line, 674-0008. Just tell them you mentioned us, heard us mention the $40 off, and you'll get it immediately. Then you'll set up your appointment for whenever's convenient for you, whenever they have openings on their schedule. It doesn't get any better than that. Or does it? Just joining us on the program now. There he is. He is Jonathan Sweet. What's going on, brother? Good morning.
I just came in hot. I didn't even know I was on, Rick.
I saw you in the green room. You looked great. And I said, we're just going to throw him right on. Plus, you fit into my segue about how things can get better. How can things get better? Boom. We have Jonathan Sweet on. That's how they get better.
I got a small bone to pick with you, Rick, this morning. I'm just going to go ahead and take care of some early business.
Right. That's okay.
The only thing I asked, I'm like, yeah, I'll do the show. We love Big Dog. Just don't put me on after David Smith. That's all I asked you.
I know you did. You did. I failed, didn't I? I failed.
I'm teasing. That's Mr. Personality. I tell you, I love to listen to him. I feel like I'm 2, 3, 4 IQ points smarter every time I do. And but I have to disagree with. I think the Commanders. I think the Commanders are going to take the division this year. But you don't pay me to give you my predictions, so I'll just keep them to myself.
That's all right. Well, I love the quarterback. I love the player, and I hope he can be the player that they need him to be this year. So
he's something special. Absolutely,
he is. Well, again, everything Pulaski County Sports Entertainment's doing is special. I got the summer rundown. Tim sent it to me. The jet ski thing looks outstanding. The Sportsplex is going to open in October. The racetrack keeps popping. You just teamed up with more stuff for IHRA. It never ends with you guys.
It doesn't end because we're just getting started.
I know.
Just getting started.
I
know. Fun times.
Well, what are you most excited about, and how's the response been? I mean, the summertime, we have getting ready to celebrate 250 years of this great nation, and you guys are right there going to continue that celebration with all these great events that you brought here to Pulaski County and the New River Valley.
Absolutely. It's hard to say what I'm most excited about, but when you talk about the 250 and the celebration, the River Turtles, they're playing some good baseball right now. And there's a lot of fireworks planned this around some of the home games around the 4th. So if you enjoy world-class baseball, you enjoy fireworks, you want to go to see a River Turtles game.
Yeah, there's no doubt. No doubt. Calfee Park, it's historic nationally. It's not just historic to us here. It's historic all over the place. When you see Calfee Park, when other people are on baseball, they know exactly where you're talking about. They know where it's located. They may not say Pulaski right all the time, but that's okay. They know, and you're right. They are having a good season. There's a lot of Highlanders on that team, which is great, right?
I'm glad you mentioned that. Absolutely. Yeah, we started with 4 Highlanders. Honorable mention, we had 4 Hokies on there as well. So we had 8 players. We lost some to some injuries and some transfers. Nevertheless, we still have a roster with some really good talent from our Highlanders and from our Hokies that we trust some fans are going to come out to watch them. And I'm confident that the River Turtle fan base is going to spill over into Highlanders baseball, into Hokies baseball, and continue to watch these guys play.
Jonathan Sweet joining us. He's Pulaski County's Chief Administrative Officer. We're going through all the things now to remind people what's coming up in the summer. And I know that still a lot of the attention, rightfully so, focused on what's happening with the Sportsplex. Everything's still on schedule, I see, as Tim sent me the latest update on everything. Scoreboards are going up. Playground is ready to go. flooring is. I mean, how excited are you when you go into the building and you see the things being laid down and constructed?
Seeing it transform in front of our eyes, it gives you chill bumps when you can envision what's going to be taking place in this giant space. But yeah, they were laying the floor, the first process of a multi-layered process. Um, the curtains are going in, the furnitures have been ordered. I mean, everything is taking place. The goals. We've spared no expense, but we've saved a ton of money through negotiating. We've got a great team who's negotiating prices, and we've saved hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what we're saving in negotiation, we're reinvesting back into just really good equipment. This is going to be a commercial grade, collegiate grade, quite frankly, when it comes to basketball goals, when it comes to all the equipment that's going in there. These aren't those little scoreboards that you see when you go to travel sports. These are hanging scoreboards, and we've got 20 of them. I'm sorry, 18 of them in there, because we have them on the futsal fields too. So just first class everything. This is going to be the place to play. Um, Everything from pickleball to basketball to wrestling to cheerleading, you name it, cornhole. We've got something special, and we're excited of what it means to the locals, right? What it means to even our Highlanders who some off season stuff want to come in and experience the facility. We've got the coolest thing. I know I talk about it a lot, but we've named it, and I want to drop the name live on your show first.
Oh,
This is
breaking news! We got breaking
baby.
news here on the program. I love it. We got breaking news. Here we go. Let me get the. There we go. What do we have here? Breaking news from.
So this athletic performance training facility is going to be named The Forge. It's going to be known as The Forge. Pulaski County over the years has forged many things, and we're going to continue to forge athletes, leaders, community members, and just good citizens from this facility. But it is a Division I level athletic performance training facility. We're calling it the Forge. It's going to be branded. You're going to see athletes walking around with the Forge, Pulaski County, Virginia, on their T-shirts, and being very proud to be a part of this facility. So it's a facility inside of a facility, and you heard it here first. The Forge.
I love it. We are the Forge. There you go. I like that, man. You talk about there's some great opportunity for marketing there, isn't there?
Absolutely.
That just sounds great logo chances right there, man. I love that.
We're always looking for sponsorships. We're looking to sponsor the futsal field. We've got some walkthroughs for that. The pickleball court, I think we're pretty close. There's still some courts to be named, and of course, there's always the arena to be named as well. The facility will always be the Sportsplex, but within it, we're going to have named assets. So it would be the Forge, brought to you by or powered by, and Big Dog Sports Talk. The Forge, powered by Rick Watson. Yeah, it's exciting times to be a part of an investment that is going to be transformational for generations to come.
It is. It is. Thanks, man. That's great. That's great. People are asking. I get a lot of reaction here, man. As always, what are the hours going to be? I don't know if that's for the facility.
Yeah, so I held a press release, and I apologize because we got one more action to take place. The Sports Authority is going to approve the membership rates, and we'll likely talk about hours as well. But it's going to be one of those early 5:30 type hours to probably 9 or 9:30 at night. It's not going to be a 24/7. It's too large of a facility to manage for 24/7. But we're going to have great working hours. Basically, we want to make sure that the workforce has access to it before and after work, and that students have access to it before school, can continue their training, and just fit their schedules. We've got some neat things with it's not child care, but it's some of our top tier packages allow for some oversight of children on the playground so parents can enjoy all of the programming that takes place in there. But a lot of details are going to be coming out here very shortly, and I'm saying within the week. So stay tuned about that. The packages are very affordable comparatively. So one of the things we want to make sure is it's sustainable, but we want to make sure it's accessible and affordable. And I think we've hit our target on all those marks.
No, it sounds like it. And what's exciting, I know it's going to bring in and attract a lot of things from elsewhere, but this is all about the community. You did all this. This was all about forging. Oh, look what I did there. Forging that relationship with the new facility with the community. Boom.
Boom. Yeah, I love it. We need you to do that more often. Be clever more often like that. Sprinkle some of that in there. I like
There's
it.
one. Write that one down. I'll forget it very quickly. I'll forget it very quickly.
So
yeah,
yeah,
that's great, man. That's great. It's great.
I was in Myrtle Beach with our high school travel team. It was a 3-day tournament, pretty big tournament. Our girls did a great job there. But you see the magnitude of sports tourism, but you can also look at it in reverse. Our New River Valley teams don't have to travel to Myrtle Beach to compete in these types of events anymore. They're going to be able to do that very affordably in their backyard, and have competition come from all over the Eastern Seaboard to basically the New River Valley, so that they can not only compete, but they can compete in front of their friends and family and fans, and save a lot of money doing it. And I'm just excited about looking at it in both directions, what this means to sports in the New River Valley.
No, it's great. And I think and I know people have been excited. What this is also going to create jobs. I know you've had a flux of people who have wanted to come be part of this, whether it's part-time, full-time. And I know those announcements are coming up too, right, with your staff and so forth.
They are. We're dialing it in. This is somewhat of a uncharted waters for us because it's just the pure scale of it. The sheer scale is huge, but all of that information is going to be in public communiques or in press releases. We're really excited about the membership. It's probably going to come out in a press release. The authority is going to adopt that on Tuesday at their meeting. So stay tuned. There's going to be discounts for law enforcement and veterans. We want those types of folks in this facility for their physical and mental well-being. And this is really going to be exciting times in the next couple of weeks when folks learn more information about it.
No, it's going to be great. And as we continue our relationship, my goal is I want to do the show from there sometime. I think that would be great. You could talk to people and just get the vibe of it and show it. There's a lot we could do there. There's a lot we could do there.
Yeah.
A whole lot we could do.
I'm ready for, if you want to take a sneak peek, I'm happy. We can talk about it and tell you, you walk through and you see the playground literally going into the rafters of this place. You get chills and you start to understand how special this place is and what it's going to mean to children and adults of every age and of every interest.
I'll hit you up next week. I'd like to come by. If I'd like to, I'm going to look into that next week if it's cool. I'd like to see
absolutely.
that.
Yeah. Absolutely. You won't be able to stop talking about it. It is.
Yeah, I know. I want to see it. Yeah.
But you talked about jet skis. I gotta revisit that. What am I most excited about? We've got July 31st. We're raising money for our ACE program, sending all of our high school kids, graduating kids to New River Community College at no cost to them. One of the ways we raise money is we race jet skis, and it's called the Corporate Challenge, and it's called a challenge because that's what I like to do is challenge folks to some jet ski race.
You'll be out there, won't you? You will be out there.
I love it. That's all, and that's just right up my alley to have some good, clean competition and some fun. You want to race a jet ski, Rick?
Yeah, I've never done it, but sure, why not? Let's just go. This just sounds like something I could really hurt myself. Let's do it.
You need to do it. It's July 31st. I'm gonna send you some information. I'll try and find you a team. I'll put you on a team, and unless you want to compile one yourself, I'm gonna leave that up to you. But it's for a great cause. It's fun. Some great networking, team building for the corporate teams, and yeah, it's a good cause. And pray for good weather.
It's funny, and this may sound twisted to people, but when I was on my honeymoon, we were out at Emerald Isle, and I thought about you because there was this gentleman out there, kind of looked like you, and he was parasailing or para surfing. He had and I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's out there on his, I don't know what it was a surfboard or ski. I don't know what they use, but he's out there and letting the wind just kind of, but he's controlling it. He was twisting.
Amazing.
And I told my wife, I said, that's what Jonathan Sweet would be doing right now if he were here at the beach. It was so funny. I thought about it. I was like, yeah, right. It just, look, so that this, so it was funny. I thought I'd share that with you.
2 weekends ago, I did the Gusto race. It's an annual paddleboard race, and it's out of the Rock House, and you go down Peak Creek, you go under the interstate, and it's about a 2.5 mile trek. And I get on a paddleboard about once a year, and it's for this race. And I'm bragging a little bit. You know me, right? Got second place.
That's cool, man.
And there were more than 2 people in the race. I just want to make that be known.
Oh, wow. You came in second. Right that's so cool.
That's right up my alley.
Up your alley. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we always have a lot of people asking, even when you're not on with us, about Pulaski County Motorsports Park. And I know in October, you guys are going to host the 3rd IHRA Series event, right? The stock car event coming up.
We are. What was cool is we hosted the inaugural race, IHRA's inaugural stock car race at the track, and now they announced we're gonna be hosting the championship. So we're the Alpha and the Omega in the IHRA racing series, and we're excited about that. We thought we only had 2 races, didn't know where the championship was going to be. We're I think best in class and best in show when it comes to our racetrack and our fans. That they chose us to be that location. We're so excited and thankful to IHRA and the drivers and the fans. This isn't possible without the fans.
And the drag strip, I mean, you talked about going into this first year and reconstructing everything, not only from an appearance, but also in terms of the organization and the way it's going to be carried through. How's everything looking with, the drag strip? We're getting a lot of questions about the drag strip and so forth.
Yeah, it's developing. IHRA's got their hands full. They've got a lot of tracks. They've got a lot, they launched full speed ahead, and the drag strip is definitely a major component of the future plans of the motorsports park. But there's some adjustments that need to be made at the track to bring it up to the level of IHRA, and so they're working on that. We're working on it with them. But great things ahead, not just on the drag strip, but with community entertainment and programming. We're looking at doing things year round there with them. So it's just developing. These guys are entered into uncharted waters, and now they're rowing pretty quickly, but they can only go in one direction right now, and their focus is stock car here at the Motorsports Park.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got the right people in place. It's going to continue to grow and improve. Well, not only have the residents and all of us taken notice, but you also little Bernie told me there was an award given out to your organization. Yes. Is that correct?
Yes, that's you're well learned. I tell you, you are pulse on everything. Yes, we did. We won a state award for best practice in our vacancy vitality arena. So we've redeveloped 10 discontinued former public school buildings into amazing adaptive reuse projects in less than 10 years. So if really in the last 8 years is we have just been full bore, and we're getting ready to have our 11th done at the Dublin Middle School. So yeah, instead of tearing these things down, spending money, we're putting them back in the tax rolls and back to public use. It's rewarding for us.
See, I love that. As somebody who went to Dublin Middle School and that building and how it looks, that whole area when you drive up there as you're heading out toward, it's so great to hear that you have that respect for those. You talk about legacy and forging all these things. that to me is so vital because nobody wants to see these. It just keeps a connection with the generations of the community that come through. Right. I love that. I love
Absolutely.
that. I get so tired of hearing about things being torn down and just, ripped apart and not, this is great. I love that mindset. So
I think the only thing more sad than tearing them down is letting them lay dormant and fall
yeah,
down,
yeah.
right? Or putting benign storage in them or something. No, these are all adaptive, reused for a variety of things, from private schools to coffee and coneries to residential properties to even an electric commercial vehicle company. Their headquarters and design centers in the Newbern Elementary School. So we've done a lot of cool things with these facilities, and we got one more to go, and we're excited about that.
Absolutely great. Absolutely great. So how are you spending the 4th? You gonna have any time to enjoy the 4th, or what are you guys going to
So, believe it or not, I was asked to be the grand marshal in our community's parade. So I'm probably going to hijack a fire apparatus of sorts and drive it in the parade.
No.
Yeah, and throw some candy, maybe some water balloons because it's going to be hot. But yeah, we've got a great community parade. I've got so many great friends and neighbors that we're going to have a pretty big festival in Fair Lawn, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Yeah.
Oh, that'll be great. That'll be great. Well, man,
How are
listen.
you, how are you spending it? I want to ask you, how are you spending the 4th? What?
Well, we've been talking about it. So, I went and got married for the second time.
Congratulations.
On June the 6th. Thank you. It's already been a month. Wow. Anyway, so we talked about it. We just got back. We're probably just not going to, we might go to one of the events. We haven't decided yet. We're not going to do too much. It's just we're still trying to chill a little bit, get back and get settled in. So, we're going to be boring, in other words. Boring, but that's okay.
You got to do something patriotic, though.
We will.
Something small, but this is a big deal. The 250.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I'm very patriotic and proud of this country, and more so, I'm proud of all the way down to the community level. I think patriotism goes right down to the community level. And we've got a lot of community pride in the New River Valley, tons of it.
I think the true heart of patriotism probably lies in the smaller community levels, right? That's where the heart of this country still, beats, in my opinion. That may sound like something that doesn't exist, but I think so much is going to get lost in this weekend, but that's where it's going to stay true. And we're going to see the kind of representation that 250 years deserves in places like Pulaski County and communities like that, right? It's going to be all over the place. So.
That's exactly right. Absolutely. Whoa, that you just gave me chills. I got goosebumps with that.
I'm giving John the sweet goosebumps, and I'm thinking about him on my honeymoon. Whoa, hello.
But that did not give me goosebumps, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, brother, listen, congratulations, man, on everything. It's all exciting. It's all good. So, but I'm going to hit you up next week. I'm going to try to get up there next week.
Yeah, it's worth the time. I'll give you the extended tour and really show you some in-depth stuff, and you'll appreciate it even more than you do now. And I know you get it. You get this space. So yeah, you just gear up. We'll put a hard hat on you. And we'll walk you through it.
I won't go back to work. Robert, it's Rick. Yeah, I'm not coming back in today. Yeah. You'll see me in the gear and everything. You know what? We'll take some video too. We'll put it up on the channel. Let people. That'll be cool. Yeah, we'll work that out.
Yes, that sounds good.
Well, man, have a great weekend. Have a great 4th, John. Congratulations on everything you, Tim, and your entire staff's doing, man. It's great. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Thank you, Rick. You're the best. Happy 250, and we'll see you soon, my friend.
All right, brother. Stay safe, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, Jonathan Sweet joining us on the program. Good stuff all the way around. Yeah, we're going to try to do it next week. I'm going to be over at McClellan because I'm going to get, I'm going to go through all the chiropractic equipment. That'll be fun. And then we'll go up and we're going to show everybody what everything looks like at the Sportsplex because that's, it's for Pulaski County. It's for everybody. It's for everybody. So we'll get an update. We'll get a visual update. And I'll do that next week. Yeah. But yeah, that guy's he's on a para sailing mechanism, just like the dude down there. I would not be. but he would be. Dwight Vick going to join us here momentarily. Don't want to miss that. Good stuff. Thanks for all the questions, by the way. Please subscribe, all the new folks who have showed up in chat and so forth. You're welcome to stop by. As long as you're here on good intentions, we welcome everyone. You just don't want anybody. Ooh, I like that. Forging your own legacy in Pulaski. Wayne, that's better than mine. How dare you? You guys crack me up, by the way. I'm sitting there, and what am I getting? Yeah, Prometheus puts out Big Dog Pickle Court. Well, no. Pickleball court. And then Wayne, so nothing to do with yaks? Best audience on YouTube. No, they didn't. They decided to forego any kind of relationship with yaks. It was funny. Both are funny. You know, they should name the pickleball court after the show just for spite. And have me like in the logo going, Big Dog Pop tonight. Don't miss it. I'm going to invite Dwight on with us when he comes on here in just a second. I have the plot leak for the Avengers December Christmas release. Morris says Wayne is slipping. No mention of Panera breadsticks. Well, he did a great job. He did a great job, though. He kept it within what we saw another team, another organization change its whole mindset. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do like to consider myself an honest man. I'm sure you are as well. Please subscribe. Thank you for stopping by. Pickle Rick. And welcome to Pickle Rick Courts. Inside the Forge. Look, like I said, to clarify my stance on pickleball, especially if you're of a certain age and it's a way you can go out and enjoy exercise and keep yourself healthy, I think it's awesome. And I completely understand the reconfiguration of the dimensions. But if you're young, and you're out there and you see these guys and they're just like getting way too competitive. Like I see it all the time down at Radford. I like that Jonathan just said Rickleball. I like that. Rickleball. Pickle Rick, he is a real dilly. All right, now Chad is just running through it. But yeah, what we'll do is I'll get a day with Jonathan and I'll go up and I'll just, when I'm there, I can go live. It won't be a full show, but I can go live in the moment and we can just show everybody what's going on and hear, Jonathan describe it. So we will do that. We will do that next week. Pickle Rick is a real cartoon. Really? What is Pickle Rick? A cartoon of what? Should I be asking? By the way, don't forget, give Travis Williams Professional Door Incorporated, sponsor for a text line, a call. Preventative maintenance on your garage doors. 674-0008. You tell them you heard us talking about it here. Immediate $40 off your bill. Morris says, no, it's just me. Just me. Thanks to all the visitors who have stopped by today. Everybody who has stopped by visiting has been very, very kind. Oh, I like that. Here's Wayne. The new slogan we can use. It's not a deal breaker. He spells it DILL. For you to play pickleball, Rick. I would get out there and play pickleball. I'd be more apt to do that where I am of age than I would have on a full tennis court. But I wouldn't, Mr. Pickles, he's a real deal. All right, so Chad is just out of control now. I gotta love it. Oh, I mean, he just sent me Pickle Rick. Let's see what Pickle Rick looks like. Oh, my Lord. What in the holy hell is that? Wayne, I don't know if I can share that. I don't know what that is. What's up, Noah? How are you? Welcome. Please subscribe. Brian says Pickle Rick must be on a channel I don't pay for and my mom would approve of. Yeah, you get that. Brian, are you watching that Pickle channel again? We're doing great, Noah. Morris says it's normal. BDST can be a train wreck, though, through a cornfield sometimes. Yeah, in all the best ways. Good stuff. Happy anniversary to Cecil, Phil, and Susie. Hey, I just saw that come up. I've known Susie, my goodness, long, long time. How about that? Anniversary. Where Cecil coached here. He's been at Amherst. I think he's down in Georgia now. Somewhere. Great people. Hell of a football coach, too. Happy anniversary. I'm wishing them a happy anniversary in real time here on the program. Never a deal moment on BDST. This could go the rest of the day, couldn't it? Y'all a fan of the dill flavor if it's separate from pickles? I don't like pickles. Maybe that's the whole thing about pickleball for me. So do you like to add dill to your stuff? A lot of people do. They just pour it right in there. Dwight Vick is going to come on and school us, by the way, about Maryland football. You can't wait. He reached out to me. He watched the show the other day. And he said, hey, I'd like to come on and talk about it. Make waves with your belly, David says. I like that. Welcome, David. Oh, see, Wayne, now we relish DV coming on the show. Here we go. Tomorrow, no Will Stewart, no Jen. Coach Elmo's going to jump back on, writing my column this week in the Patriot about Coach Elmo. Coach Elmo's World. See how I did that with Elmo, the character? Yeah. But Coach Elmo, Mike Ashley, maybe we might do something else. Yeah. We might have a golf guest on tomorrow. I know, right? Crazy talk. It's crazy talk. Sing Life Goes, please. Nobody wants to hear me sing, Ali. Trust me. That wouldn't be great. Well, it's not terrible, I guess, but no. Good stuff today on a Thursday. Big Dog Pop tonight. I think I'm going to start around 6:30. Get Neil on for soccer recap. You couldn't get him away from the TV. He's watched every match but one. He's telling me he's staying up to like 2 and 3 in the morning watching Paraguay play the Ivory Coast. Okay. Joining us now on the program. He's the founder of Victory Life. He is talk about legacy. He has his legacy not only as a Virginia Tech Hokie offensive lineman, but every day in his life. He is Dwight Vick. What is up, DV? Good morning.
What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
Doing well, man. You got a different backdrop. Are you traveling this morning?
Oh yeah, I thought I told you.
Did you?
No, yeah. This is my last day. In Florida. I'm in Orlando.
Oh, sweet. Well, thank you for taking the time, man. I hate to bother you while you're away, but
Nah, it's all good. No, I
can't
gotta.
do without you.
Yeah, I got an appointment after this, so it works out. No, I'm good. I came down here for my youngest daughter's volleyball national AAU tournament.
That's great. And that's a good town, isn't it? Orlando's a good town.
Yeah, I've been here, man, close to maybe 9 or 10 times. I've been for sports, vacations. When the kids were little, took them to Disney. We didn't go actually when we went to Disney. We went to the outskirts of Disney. They were little. I wasn't going to pay thousands of dollars to walk around. They couldn't even get on anything. But yeah, I've been to Orlando a lot. Disney, never been a huge fan. I like the vibes of Disney. I like the characters.
I'm the same way.
But I'm not paying that kind of money. I'll take you to New York City and give you the fake mascots before.
Yeah, exactly.
But no,
well,
I've been to Orlando a lot. It's a beautiful city.
Well, speaking of fake, you know a lot about Maryland football. It's funny, the other day we were discussing Maryland in that game and about what's going on with their program, and it just feels like this they're in the desert, kind of wandering around looking for the oasis, and they can't find it. And Dwight's like, I got a lot of things to say about Maryland. I live right up here. I know all about it. Well, what is up with Maryland football, right? Johnny Holiday said, Rick, we went to the Big Ten, but the fans didn't come with us. I thought that was right. What do you think?
No, he's right. They had to go because of financial reasons. The founders of Under Armour are Maryland guys. They're graduates, not all of them, but they're Maryland guys. So they helped gather the money, and they got the money together to help them leave to go to the Big Ten because, you talk about what's sustainable and revenue sharing and money. Maryland is a great school. My cousin went there, graduated at, great school. I went up there. I've been to many sporting events there, especially when Tech comes to play them back in the old ACC. But football, we all know, is the main breadwinner, and they've never really grasped it. Even when Ralph Friedgen was there, Beamer's best friend, they had moments when they turned up for him, but they really have always been more of a basketball school, especially during the Gary Williams heyday when Duke and Maryland had those rivalry games. I used to listen to Sports Talk 980 when John Thompson, God rest his soul, was alive with Doc Walker and Smoking Out Coking, who called hockey. And this is around the time in 2004 when Virginia Tech joined the ACC. And Maryland fans never really showed up for football. They used to complain about games being at 12 or 1 o'clock. I think they would turn up for the UVA game because that was an older rivalry, a natural rivalry with neighboring states. But overall, Maryland never really, even back, in the old ACC. They had moments with Boomer Esiason. I believe he went to Maryland. They had moments. But if you look, I live up here, Maryland football, their fans have never really been passionate about football. Bird Stadium, I don't know about now. I've been there 3 times, was a dump. Bird Stadium was not a great stadium. It was outdated. It was, just not a great stadium. And if you think about it, really a lot of that old ACC or ACC stadiums, minus Florida State, Clemson, Virginia Tech, many of them have that laid back feel with the hills, and that little old school, and that kind of was why I felt when Virginia Tech went into the ACC in 2004, if they did what they were supposed to do, they would dominate. And they did the first several years. But, the Terps, man, they excuse me, they did not embrace what was the old ACC when it came to football, because it was really truly the ACC was a basketball conference. And now when it came to basketball, they have great legendary moments. Great, when Lynn Bias, Walt Williams, Walt the Wizard Williams, Joe Smith, X-Ray Hip, those teams with Gary Williams that went to the Sweet 16. And then you had, of course, Juan Dixon, and all those
yeah.
guys. I mean, they won a national championship. And then, like I said, those 4 years when Jay Williams and, was going at it with Juan Dixon, and you had, Mike Dunleavy and those guys at Duke going against Maryland. That was great, legendary rivalries for basketball and legendary moments for Maryland. Football, I know that's not your priority sport as far as covering with Maryland Terps football. Name a iconic moment or legendary moment when they were playing in the ACC regarding when Virginia Tech. I'm talking about the newer ACC.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that game when Maryland came to Virginia Tech after Frank Beamer's mother passed, and Virginia Tech won 55-6.
Yeah.
Then there was the game when Virginia Tech went up there, and Maryland was revealing their Under Armour uniforms with that whatever state flag, whatever, in the black and the all black. So what did Nike do? They purposely released the Virginia Tech all white unis that Tyrod and those guys went up there and played, and they won handedly. Then there was that game on Thursday night I was in attendance for when Maryland came to Virginia Tech and Darren Evans ran over the guy and the whole crowd went crazy. And Virginia Tech, I believe, won 23-13. So Maryland they never embraced football. I remember when they went to the Big Ten, I told everybody up here, well, when I'm in D.C., the D.C. area, I told everybody up there they're going to struggle because you went from a natural conference for you demographically to a conference where you're outnumbered. And on top of it, Maryland has struggled. You talk about Virginia Tech struggles prior to Franklin. Maryland has historically struggled to keep their in-state players in state.
Yes.
They do not. Most of them went to Tech, Michigan, Ohio State. They're talented top players. South Carolina SEC schools. So you think about the talent in the state of Maryland with football. Most of the time, they don't stay home. And post Ralph Friedgen, they haven't really been able to sustain anything. They took Maryland for that market, the television market. But I live in the D.C. area. I live in Northern Virginia. I've been complaining for decades. The D.C. area, D.C., Maryland, and Northern Virginia, the DMV, does not care about college football. That is pro sports town. It's the Commanders / Redskins. It's the Wizards, and that's lower. It's the Nationals.
And the Caps.
And the Caps.
Yeah.
I've made many appearances on 106.7 as fan, the sports talk show. Known for the Junkies. They're a great group of guys that cover sports.
They are
good. A few of them are Maryland grads. They don't talk about Maryland football. And you had Mike Burn up on. He's 100% right. I live up here. When Virginia Tech played 3 times at FedEx Field, they took over FedEx Field. I mean, and when Virginia Tech would travel to Bird Stadium, it became a home game for Tech.
It will this year. It will this year, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a road game, but yeah, I can go on and on. I don't want to spend the whole show, but I just wanted to tell. I was listening to you talk.
No,
I was like, let me tell them I could give. And again, I'm not shaming Maryland, but my lowest point, one of my lowest points as a Tech fan, was when J.C. Price was left with the get along game and the Smurfs because a handful of guys declared for the draft. The other guys went to the portal, and then people just opted out. And this is when they played in that bowl game, the Pinstripe Bowl game. And Maryland destroyed. It was an embarrassing game. That's when Pride was doing the interview live on TV, and the touchdown pass went long. It was embarrassing. And I was mad because Maryland never beat us. Never. I mean, on a good day. And we got obliterated up there. And it was just like, we should have just forfeited. I mean, the scraps JC was left to coach with was horrible. And you know what's funny about that? I don't even know if that game made the news up here.
They just played it, and maybe
They don't. I'm telling you, you ask anybody that's a Tech guy or woman or a Tech fan that live in the DMV, Maryland football is not a priority. They're not, and that's one reason why they were struggling with revenue, is because people were not showing up, and they've had moments, but they're just not. I think what hurt them too is that they got rid of Ralph Region, which was weird.
Yeah.
And when you do that, like a Beamer or anybody, the guy that was a legendary coach at West Virginia, when you get rid of legendary coaches without a contingency plan, a lot of time your program can suffer for decades.
There's no question, and you nailed it. The relationship between Ralph Region and Frank Beamer. Coach Beamer always said that's my best friend, and always will be in coaching. God rest Coach Region's soul. He's not with us any longer, but that relationship was real. So he felt that. Coach Beamer felt that, how he was kind of run out in just disgusting fashion, to be honest with you, and they haven't recovered since. They haven't been good since. So
yeah. I mean, now I'm not a Maryland fan, so I don't care. I laugh. I love. That's why
exactly. You don't mind.
When people ask me, I told you this first before everyone else started saying it. I said, to me, what's going to be an indicator if Virginia Tech is on the right trajectory is if they come up to Maryland and they beat them convincingly, or they win 100%. That game. Is Maryland capable? Yeah, Maryland always has moments if the crowd gets back. They got a good quarterback, I believe. But that's a game I really want. There's certain games as a fan, as a former player, alumni, I really want to win. Miami, when we play Maryland, West Virginia, those are games that I really, really want us to win for bragging rights. Just also, too, because for the optics, I've always said certain names, right? Like we wet the bed against Michigan when Danny Cole did catch the ball. You beat Michigan in the Sugar Bowl, you win 12 games. You also beat Michigan, who had the quarterback shoelace. You win that game. It's a prominent Big Ten program. At the time, it was one of Michigan's better teams. You beat certain teams you're on schedule, like even this upcoming season. You beat a Miami. You beat a Clemson. I don't know why we hyping up Clemson. I don't even think Clemson's that great.
I don't either. I mean,
but the optics, right? The optics, the perception.
Of course.
What does Clemson and Miami have? Credibility, right? You beat even the SMU. I don't think SMU is a household name, but since joining the ACC, they've gotten better.
Oh, no question. They got money too. Yeah, absolutely.
So, there's a game on the schedule. You go in that game, you're probably going to be 2-0. You win that game, 31-16. That's a great road win. Now, nationally wise, no one cares because Maryland has been at the bottom of the Big Ten. They've had moments that you mentioned the other day when they're leading a Penn State or an Ohio State in the third quarter, and then you blink and they lose by 20.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, but from the standpoint of Virginia Tech and just their momentum and the trajectory they want to be on, you want to win that game.
They are 30-80. That's their Big Ten game record since they moved to that league. 30-80. Just looked it up. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I see it. I mean, I see them on Fox Sports South, and I'm just like, why did y'all leave? Because here's the thing, and this is not to shame on the ACC, but it's with you and I, we keep it real. If Maryland had stayed and found a way maybe to cut some non-revenue sports or get the revenue to, you can't turn down the Big Ten when it comes to revenue sharing and what they made the right choice for their university. But if they were able to stay, I don't think they would be as in bad a shape they are in football. Because basketball has been up and down. They've had some moments in basketball, but again, you're in the Big Ten now. You're playing Ohio State, Michigan, Michigan State, which is always good. Tom Izzo. It's a gauntlet. The ACC in basketball is still really, really good, but it's not always, respectfully, I apologize. In the modern era, the last handful of years, it's been top heavy. With 4 or 5 schools, and then the rest is kind of battling, just for that play-in game type situation. So I felt Maryland was, a really natural member of the ACC. The same way when Virginia Tech finally got into the ACC, it made sense. But yeah, 30-80. I mean, Virginia Tech fans, minus James Franklin, even if he didn't become the head coach, this is the difference. Virginia Tech, as you know, I've been hard on Tech because I should be. Virginia Tech has been a shell of itself the last several years. 4 winning seasons in 10 years. And every year, Tech fans are showing up and selling out. And staying, even and down staying. 17, and staying. The students leave or whatever at the halftime. But the truth of the matter is they're still watching the game. They're still showing up, despite being a bad football team. And Tech fans are so passionate. They argue about uniforms. They argue about NC2A video game rankings. They argue about, why they, remember I came on your show. This really had me perplexed. Last year, they came on, I came on your show, and on Twitter, AKA X, fans were upset because about a year ago around this time, Tech was finished 14 in the ACC preseason media poll. I'm like, what y'all mad for?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, oh man, this is disrespectful. No, it's not.
Right. Like, that's where you've been. That's where you've been.
What are you talking about? Meanwhile,
what are you supposed to do? Yeah.
I think UVA and Tech were finished low. I don't know if Tech was 14, but they were really low. And meanwhile, UVA proved everybody wrong, and we proved everybody right.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like I've done ACC media days. I've done them. I've been there. I've interviewed Narduzzi. I've interviewed Mike London. This is back in the day, when I did the radio show. But it's just guys getting together. It's at that golf place in South Carolina.
Yep.
And you just talk to coaches, and you pick based on who's going to finish where, who's going to win the conference. So Virginia Tech has a lot to prove, but our fan base, respectfully, has always shown up.
Well, I want to ask you about something. I've been waiting to ask you because last Friday we had a discussion with Will Stewart from Tech Sideline about this next expansion that's going to come, the breakaway, whatever it's going to look like, right? We know it's coming because TV is going to demand it. So the SEC and the Big Ten will lead the way. And I have maintained all along that Tech was going to be fine because of their brand. And you and I have talked about it. Will does not see it that way. And I look at the AD hire, and now he's bringing his deputy with him from FAU. And what are we seeing in all the releases and all the hype? It's all about fundraising, money, everything else. Does this come across to you like Tech has taken an honest look at itself for the first time in a long time with James Franklin now there, and maybe he brought it to people's attention and he realizes we're not a shoo-in to be included in the next big purge. And if we're going to get there, not only do we have to win, but we have to continue to show that our funds and our ability to go out and create more funds is up there with the upper echelon of the Big Ten, the SEC. What do you think?
Yeah, I know what Will's talking about. And I stand on Virginia Tech's brand is still marketable. And I think many would agree. The fact that right now we're getting a lot of attention based on 17, 18, and 19 recruits committing, right? And the fact that I keep seeing pundits across the country saying, we need Virginia Tech football to be good. College football is great with Virginia Tech. However, when it comes to winning and to, perception is reality, we are not a winning program right now. Here's how I know. Speaking of recruiting, and I want everybody in the chat to ask yourself this answer. Well, answer this in your head, or you can answer in this chat when I ask this question. When another school beats Virginia Tech out for a recruit, ask yourself, does that fan base go, wow, we beat Virginia Tech? He chose us over Tech? They don't say that. If Maryland or UVA or Syracuse or a team in the SEC, Vanderbilt or Mississippi State, gets a recruit, or Ohio State or whoever, and we're in their top 5 or top 3, and they choose, no one's Tennessee's like, oh man, that's a great pull. We beat Virginia Tech for this kid. That they're not saying that anymore. They haven't said that in a while. See, yeah, you're saying yes, right? Because you know I'm right. The truth of the matter is, the average fan in college football does not care about us. We have not been able to get into the dance. We do not have respect. I said this when Sons of Saturday and the last 5 seasons, oh my God, the interest. I'm like, man, please stop telling me about this interest. And you go out there and you get boat race 38-17. The interest was great. I had ODU fans, my daughter's an alumni now, talking about they couldn't wait to go celebrate the entrance and then celebrate a win. They were so confident walking into Lane Stadium.
They played like it too.
People used to be terrified of Lane Stadium back when I played. So we do not have the respect. So when it comes to branding, fan base, following, TV market, yes, we check those boxes. But money needs to be better. Facilities need to. It's almost like when you go to certain schools, you almost feel like you're walking into some type of like mega universe where there's all these big things. They have this. You know, one of the things
100%.
Franklin said in his presser, and he said it again multiple times. We got to walk into Merriman and this whole atmosphere and feel like we're at a big boy football program. And I think whether on the field or as far as revenue, like just being saturated with so much stuff, the game day experience is really good at Tech, but the overall results have been lacking. And that's, as I told you when we had that special show on Saturday night, we let egos. We let people that have been at Tech too long stay around too long. We had too many cooks in the kitchen, too many egos, some bad hiring and nepotism. We had a lot of nonsensical stuff going on where people were like, you know, like the Oprah, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Like we were just throwing out money, the hires, the coaching hires. And then you sacrifice basketball and other sports for football only to go 3-8, 5-6.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, it is reckless spending. So Will is right. I mean, if I had to put money on it, I think what we're doing now, you throw in some winning seasons, some 10-win seasons,
right.
The ACC championship game appearance, a January 1st bowl game type deal. Yeah. And all of a sudden you do that for 4 years in a row, 5 years in a row where you're ranked. I mean, gosh, I remember when I played, and even years after I played, even post Tyrod Taylor era, Virginia Tech used to be ranked. I mean, whether you still went to the 7-Eleven or the local bodega and you got a magazine, Virginia Tech was ranked top 15, top 17. Watch out for Virginia Tech, dark horse for a playoff.
Dark horse for the play. Yeah.
Or national championship. We were a dark horse, and now we're a dark horse to go to a bowl game. And bowl games don't matter anymore.
They don't matter.
See, again, when I brag about my run, that's when the bowl games, you know, have merit. Now these kids opt out. You know, I don't want to injure my tooth. I got a bad molar. I don't.
Right.
I got to be careful, man. These fingernails, I got to make sure I don't hurt my fingernails. So I'm gonna sit out.
Yeah,
they don't play. And it's not just Tech. It's the kids that are going to the Rose Bowl. Like the question is, after a great season, are the kids going to play? Even that kid, Cam Ward, remember he set out the second half of a bowl game he started in.
He started. Yep. That's right.
I mean, but again, I used to get mad or I used to be confused. I expect it now. So
that's a great point. You do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think Tech is on the right trajectory now, but every time somebody texts me something, DMs me some little nugget about what Franklin and his staff is doing, I smile. I like it. I love it. But what do I keep coming back to? You have to win.
Got to win.
These same fans that are doing the memes and pictures with James Franklin and how they got him with the chains and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
You lose to Maryland, you lose to UVA, you get embarrassed by Miami. If these things happen, the same people praising him will question him. I'm not arguing with Penn State fans. Penn State fans, I'm gonna hit you with something. I'm gonna give you a different look today. I'm gonna give you a different coverage. Penn State fans have every right to be mad.
Right.
Because guess what? Let me go down memory lane. There was a contingency of fans that were mad at Beamer the last handful of years because you spent all this money to come to Blacksburg or go on the road and you weren't winning games. You weren't winning the big games. The purpose of playing a sport and being on a team is to win games and win the big games. So Penn State got burnt out because after a while, all that charisma and great chatter in the press conference and we're going to do this and we're going to do this, and you come out and you give away a game, you make a questionable call, you don't seize the moment, then what are we really believing in you for?
Yeah.
Now, Virginia Tech football fans, we're desperate because we have been irrelevant for so bad. We are Charlie Brown when he keeps missing the football. We he kicks it and she pulls it. We've been doing that. So we are desperate to be relevant. So 11, 10 wins for us right now is great, but eventually that's going to be more. But I want first to take the baby step to get in that position. I want to wake up on Saturdays and watch, and then after the game is over, feel like, well, it's good. We're 6-1. That's just good. That's what you want. And to me, this is going to sound crazy to somebody in the chat, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I don't think Franklin is on the hot seat. Virginia Tech football is on the hot seat.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Virginia Tech football is on the hot seat, not Franklin. His legacy prior to coming here is a very, very good one. But Virginia Tech football is on the hot seat because Fuente and Pry and Witt, and I like Witt and all the other guys, they put us here along with the players, along with overpaying for players who haven't done anything in years. We have been underachieving so bad that the program's on the hot seat because you cannot follow up all this euphoric feelings, all this great energy, all this great recruiting, all the money and donations with a 5-6 or 5-7 season. You can't do that.
Well, and yeah, you're right. And for Penn State, the two things that got them, I think, last year, that's enough. That video that went viral when he got into it with fans at the spring game, that was embarrassing. And then when they were 25-point favorites and got boat raced by UCLA, who at the time I think had one win or maybe were winless, there was no going back to Penn State after that for him. There was no way that was going to happen. He they had to, and that whole image of him going after the fans during the spring game that followed him through the rest of the season until they released him. So.
And that's why I said these same people on the chats and these Twitter spaces and on Facebook and the Instagram groups are going to be the same people that destroy you if you don't win. It's no different. Hey, listen, I'm a movie guy. Pressure. Like, I'm not saying it's like Denzel Washington and Remember the Titans when he had to win. But they told him, I know it's a movie, but they told him, because he's not coming to integrate Virginia Tech, but they told him, Denzel, Coach Boone, you cannot lose a game.
Yeah, a game. Right.
Yeah. That coach with the afro called him in the stadium when Boone was walking around. Yeah. He said, hey, I'm sorry, Coach. You can't lose a game.
One game. Yeah.
I was like, that is like crazy pressure.
Whoa.
And you're dealing with trying to integrate a school and people throwing bricks and Monticello cocktails through your house and your window, and you got to keep guys together. You got to make the right decisions with the quarterback and the coverage and the option. But this is a life they chose as coaches. Fair or unfair, you can get paid very, very well. There's coaches sitting here right now in Orlando with me that are golfing somewhere that are still being paid a buyout from 2-3 years ago while I'm waiting for my direct deposit to hit. So I am not about to feel bad for them because they're still getting $9 million. I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're getting paid $8 million, $6 million, on 3rd and 7 to run the counter play.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man.
Third 9. What are we gonna bring out? Let's do the fullback counter.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I said, man, that's why I stand on what I said. And I dare anybody in Southwest Virginia to challenge me on it, because you're not going to do nothing to me physically. And I know what I'm talking about because I helped build that thing. And I know what the Eagles did. I saw the bad hires. I saw the bad coach, and I saw the players that were bringing in. I saw the friendships on the staff, guys that should not have been hired. I saw it. And then I saw the consequences on Saturdays and Thursdays. So don't tell me that I'm being cynical or I'm not buying in. People, listen, man, Rick, the average fan doesn't realize, what many people like myself and former players go through when it comes to when we watch this thing and what we did, the stadium steps, the weighted vests, the blood, sweat, and tears that's often said when people describe what they go through. So I'm not going to just get excited about the possibilities. I need to see results. And it starts, with VMI and then ODU and then Maryland and Boston College and those guys. You need to start the season off on the right foot. I like the quarterback. I like what we're doing, but the offensive line, I don't care about possibilities. Our offensive lines have been garbage for years now. For years. We can't pick up stunts and blitz packages. So what I'm describing is cautiously optimistic, but I want it based on accountability, not possibilities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
so
that. Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I like that. That's a good way.
So the name of this segment is Virginia Tech football is on the hot seat.
I like it. I like it a lot. Well, we're gonna do. I know you're traveling. I know you're on the road. We're gonna do Big Dog Pop tonight, so I know you're out and about.
Oh no! I'm available.
If you want to jump on, by the way, I'm going to give you a tease because I know you referenced Thanos a lot. You love those MCU movies back in the day. They released on Reddit. It was confirmed by 2 people who worked on it. We've got the plot to Doomsday.
Really?
Yeah, it's out. The plot is out. It showed up on Reddit. Now we're going to go over it tonight. I don't want to spoil it for you, but after reading it, I have no desire to see the movie.
What time y'all going? Because I watched a little bit of it last week.
I'm going to go between 6:30 and 7. I don't know. I'll let you know. I'll shoot you an invite once we go on, and we just go till we run out of stuff. So
all right, okay, that works. That works.
I tell you what, let's shoot. I'll go for 6:45. How's that? I'll set a solid time, 6:45 tonight.
All right. Yeah. I mean,
you can jump on any time for however long you want. Yeah.
All right. That'll work, man.
All right, brother. Great stuff as always, man. Thanks for the breakdown there of why Maryland's just Maryland right now. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Gosh, just they're anyway, Maryland. I'm new school with some stuff, Rick, and old school with some stuff, man. I mean, some stuff
right.
Okay with, but I do miss I miss the old ACC. And sometimes when I look back, I miss the old Big East. Just in the fact that, it worked out, not just for Virginia Tech being a Virginia Tech guy, but I mean, I just thought those teams with McNabb and the Hasselback guys at Boston College and West Virginia, with Rich Rod and the coach before him, like they Amos Airway and Gary Stills and those guys.
Don Nealon. Yeah.
Don Nealon. Thank you. Don Nealon and Beamer going at it. And, West Virginia, if anything this new AD can do is, I don't know about Tennessee. I know a lot of people that live in the Southwest Virginia area love that Tennessee rivalry, and it's cool. And it's great. I know we played them in the bowl game with Tyrod and David Wilson and Ryan Williams and Boykin, and we beat them 37-14. That was a great win. But West Virginia, to me,
that's it.
No disrespect to UVA at all. But the West Virginia Tech rivalry is a rivalry. Like this,
I know.
It's and they bring the best out of each other. And I wish they would that's what I'm saying. So when Will Stewart and you guys get going and Almation about how it should be, or we wish we can keep some of those things, that's what's missing, not just with Tech, but the Big Ten and, even in ACC basketball, the rivalries. I mean, that's why, like, my favorite rivalry with us is Miami and Virginia Tech, because
absolutely.
I was part of the group that made that a rivalry game. And the ACC at one time had gotten rid of it. Then the following year, they got it back where we play them every year. But we'll see what happens.
Well, we hope to see you tonight, brother. Great stuff, man. Great stuff.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks. I'll
appreciate
see you later.
You, man. Hey, I like your Padres hat, by the way. I'm a Padres
guy.
Yeah.
I switch it up. I got the drip.
I know you do. I know you do. All right, man. We'll talk to you later this evening.
Okay. All
right. There you go. The great Dwight Vick. Hey, he's going to be on Pop tonight. That's great. Good stuff. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. Thanks to all of our great sponsors. Thanks to David Smith. What a great synopsis of the NFC East. Thanks to Jonathan Sweet, all the great news, Pulaski County Sports Entertainment, of course, Dwight Vick. Great stuff. Telling it like it is, man. It's the way it is. That's the way it is as we headway through now, month of July. Only one more month to go before we start getting into real football. So it's coming your way. Join us tonight, Big Dog Pop, 6:45. Please stop by. We can talk about whatever the hell we want. That'll be tonight. And don't forget, reach out to Professional Door about your garage door, preventative maintenance. They've got a $40 special, 674-0008. All you have to do is say we heard it on BDST, and you immediately have your $40 off. I keep saying 40%, $40 off of your service bill immediately. Just go ahead and knock it right off just because you mentioned you heard it on the show. 674-0008. Sure, we can talk about single malt whiskeys tonight, whatever. We'll see you tonight, everybody. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and we'll see you in a few hours.